Okay. So question of the week first is realistically, how worried is your character about a possible giant invasion? Because jokes aside, and how we've had issues with like the rolls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Giants will, like, a single swing of a giant can fuck like a horde of humans up.
Oh yeah, we are not average people in the slightest.
Yeah.
What did we know about this giant invasion before we talked to him? Was the guy we captured the first guy to mention anything like that?
Yeah, you've had some issues with the giants, and you noticed that the stone giant was working the ogres back in book 3 in the Hook Mountain area, which is definitely weird. Generally, giant tribes don't work together. Sometimes if a tribe gets a certain size, they just stop cooperating with each other and just break off. That's been the whole thing. Like, without even having to roll, the whole thing you guys would know about giants is the reason they haven't conquered the world, considering they're fucking way stronger than any like humanoid race, is that they do not work well in groups.
Then I would say Pledrum is probably concerned but confident there's a non-giant behind the scenes pulling the strings.
Yeah, more concerned about the interest that behind the giants people seem to have in all the ancient Thessalonian stuff that we found.
Emmanuel wouldn't be worried about an invasion. Malthun is very, very far away.
Emmanuel, he was verging on neutral good. He's sliding back towards lawful evil.
He is. All his friends died. Now he's heading back to the dark side.
Freaking Rish doesn't count. A fix is still here.
Yeah, he taps a fix on the shoulder. Know what I mean? To lose him? Yeah.
So what he's saying is that Lucilla died, and well.
Also, Rish is more of a pet.
Well, I mean, Rish he's an acquaintance.
Well, what's the wording of the question again?
How worried is your character about a possible giant invasion? Because realistically, as much as we joke around about how bad my rolls are and how you guys have made mincemeat, one good roll could take like half or more of your health in a single blow.
Well,
I would say it's also not really your rolls, considering I realized I accidentally made Gork a very proficient giant killer. So.
Well, I mean, that's dwarves in a nutshell, really.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
giant invasion. Let's call the dwarves.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a couple.
And apparently the halflings.
Yeah, apparently. Sorry, I keep interrupting Loki.
No problem. Very high considering previous. There's been so many factions that have also been organizing to do pretty devastating things. So, yeah, very high. Plus,
what about Gork?
Giants killed her once already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was just an ogre. That's like the low-level giant.
Exactly, and it killed her.
Once you get to the dangerous ones, that's going to feel like chump change.
And it still killed her, so yes, very worried, still holds.
Despite all of Gork's shit talking about two legs, he is concerned about what happens if giants start to gain supremacy in Varisia. It's less of he's not as concerned for himself personally because he's going to fight and he'll either win or he'll die. But judging from how the ogres are, and I imagine that's most of Gork's experience.
Yeah, that'd probably be like 99% of your experience.
Yeah, it's bad for the area around them for everyone if they are in control.
Yeah, because thinking back about Gork's location, he grew up in the Ashwood. To the north, in the Hook Mountains, there was ogres. And then when they did happen to associate with any kind of humanoid creatures, then you got the ogrekin, which arguably were a lot more awkward to deal with and worse to deal with. Yeah. As they did a lot more of the trapping of animals and hunting, but they were also the worst kind of backwoods kind of folk.
Yeah, I imagine they're very damaging to the environment. Like,
100%.
Yeah, Gork and his lot had like an understanding with the Turtleback Fairy folks. You don't really get that with giants. They just kind of get used to taking what they want and do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so locking in those questions. Go ahead and close that.
Yeah, I guess Gork is just different than other people who everyone else is thinking, you know, whoever's behind it is a real threat, and Gork is thinking, even if it is just the giants, that's still not good for any living thing around.
Mhm.
Well, Pledgeman would probably agree with that, but he just thinks it can't be the giants.
Yeah. Well, it's a very boots on the ground animal mindset. You're not thinking of abstractly. You're thinking of the next thing that's going to stop you from sleeping or eating.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So yeah, last time we played, you all defended a sandpoint from an invasion of stone giants. You went from place to place in the town, managed to fight off a variety of giants that were using bears as beasts of burden as well as beasts of violence, more or less. During the whole ensuing battle, you also encountered a dragon, which you promptly beat its ass before it turned tail and fled, turning invisible in the process to really cement getting away. You managed to beat back the leader, bring him back enough to question him about what was going down. Turns out that there's somebody up in the Storwall Plateau that is by the name of Mock Murian, that is gathering giants to create an army for what exact purpose you're unsure of, but it does seem to be the way he described it. They plan to rule Varesia proper. And after that, Gork had a honor duel to the death with the wounded guy who tried to swing and defend himself, but he was already pretty hurt, and Gork is like we just discussed, a giant murdering machine. And we kind of left off there. So once again, you're all like, well, not all of you, some of this is the first time. There's a lot of people happy that you saved them, and as far as people, you were able to prevent anyone from being captured from the giants that you noticed were stuffing people in bags. A couple people did get killed in the process. Kind of left them in a bag surrounded by bears, but no one knows about that too much.
Yep. If there's a crowd trying to gather around us to cheer, that's not going to go well for Gork. He doesn't like being surrounded by people like that.
Oh God, why are they being loud at me?
Well, no. If a bunch of people are circling around you into your blind spot in nature, that means you're about to get fucking murdered.
That's true.
Yeah, so you see a bunch of people kind of run up to try to cheer for you. Gork turns and growls.
Get the fuck back!
They kind of just stop and start backing up a little bit. Of the lot, the only ones they do recognize is Emmanuel and Reese, so eventually the ones that are more happy to see them and aren't completely turned away from Gork kind of sidelong over to them, and you see the mayor and sheriff and stuff like come to thank you. Like, I don't know what we would have done without you. This was quite a brutal onslaught.
You can always count on your friends from Multhoon.
Vic still just pinches the bridge of her nose and shakes her head.
Again, we don't know what Multhoon has to do with us, but we appreciate your help with us.
This was good. We made back in time.
I walk up next to Vic. What was with all those two legs over there? They were coming right at me.
They wanted to thank you.
That doesn't sound right.
There was a tavern in town, right?
Oh yeah, there's a few. The ones you guys frequented the most is the Rusty Dragon.
What's the state of the Rusty Dragon?
There's been some damage on it. Like the rest of the town, there's been some damage. There looks like there was some fire damage. Part of the roof is a little burned and charred. So there's like, when you go in, there's like a hole that kind of beams in some light.
Is the
otherwise
fighter still there, or have they?
Is the what still there?
Fled somewhere?
Is the what still there?
The owner, the
yeah, Amiko's still there. She's still kind of like helping clean up the rubble and stuff around the outside of it and stuff. But it doesn't seem like many people had a place to flee because the kind of attack kind of surrounded them from many different sides. So most of the people are all now just in the process of picking up the debris and putting out what remains of fires from the dragon.
Cool. I will ask Amiko when I come in, sort of look around at the place, kind of disheveled looking, and I said, did your stores make it through the fight?
She like looks at you, like, no, you're asking if we have booze. We got booze.
Excellent. Okay, then I'm going to... Let me see. Okay. I'm going to use ghost sound to increase the volume of my voice. Going to walk right outside the tavern and say, "Drinks on me!"
Vix would shrug and like, all right, I'm in.
The question is he actually paying?
Yes, he will actually pay.
Who knows when the forces summoned from Magnamar will ever show up. Another day or two at least.
Before we get into the revel, Gork's gonna peel out and go to the other side of the wall, and I want to use the survival to see if there was any, like, did we kill all the giants, or did some see that the wind was going against them and they run away?
Okay, you're trying to see if there's anyone that escaped and such?
Yeah, like, mainly just checking tracks. I'm not going to try to chase anyone down and kill them. It's just like, okay, so someone got away.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a survival. Nice.
Plus 4, so 38.
Yep. So yeah, there definitely were some giants that managed to make a quick getaway. You noticed that some had started heading towards the more rich buildings that were slightly away from the main town as you kind of scope out the whole surroundings. Mm-hmm. That when they saw the dragon fleeing at top speed and then heard the horn followed by nothing else afterwards, that they kind of saw the writing on the wall and decided to book it. So, tracks, you estimate probably less than half a dozen. You can't get exact numbers beyond that. But definitely 6 or less. Pledger, you can just go ahead and mark off like 4 gold for the amount of people that come and get the beer. You can tell that the liquor they're serving them is just like the average stuff. It's not like high quality anything. So,
all right. Does Emmanuel come in? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll come in and have a glass of wine.
All right, then Pledgerum will plop down next to you, whatever table you're at. I'll say, what kind of songs do they play at Malthun?
Mostly heroic ballads.
Let me see if I can think of something that might suit that taste, and then I will perform.
Okay, that's a nice roll.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an 8 on the die. 8 on the die, but performance, like, he's skilled enough at performance that is no issue. Even in his bad days, he's going to put on a show. And yeah, this heroic ballad that you kind of piece together some thoughts of like heroic tales you've heard before, as well as implementing some of the tunes you actually found on that lost ship in the Shimmerglens. You kind of marry together the tunes and stuff to kind of create like a semi-homage original ballad kind of thing. And it does rouse people's spirits because it is very like a heroic kind of tale.
Vix is going to try dancing to it.
Roll a performance, see how good you dance. Curious to see if she has 2 left feet.
I don't think so. Let's find out.
Wow.
Yeah,
this is turning into a party.
Yeah. As the night comes on, people kind of take shifts between cleaning up the town and treating any wounded. But a lot of you who have all kind of congregated at the Rusty Dragon and kind of welcomed pretty much all the town to come and visit. The spirits are definitely being uplifted, even to the point where you see the normally stoic Sheriff Belor kind of like unwillingly tapping his foot under the table a couple times before catching himself and kind of just crossing his arms and glaring at the whole scene.
Barkeep, a drink for the sheriff over there.
You just see the sheriff, when he gets the drink, kind of grumble and go to his drink. He's not the most personable of folk. Usually leaves that to the mayor. But the town itself seems to be, the spirits are much higher than before, which is quite impressive considering they just were attacked by a dragon and a bunch of giants. If there's anything in particular you want to do for the night, let me know. Otherwise, the night is enjoyed as people kind of stay up towards the wee hours as they're kind of trying to distract themselves from the melancholy that happened the day before.
So maybe.
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say,
focusing on like the bar scene. So.
Yeah, I was imagining that during the entire startup of the bar scene, Gork was out checking the tracks and everything, and he comes back to that in full swing. And not knowing context, he like kicks open the door and he goes, "Right, so I think at least 6 got away," and he just sees everything going on. It's like, what is happening?
Yeah, when you start saying that, you see Amiko's like on one of the tables playing with Pledrum with her lute and stuff, and she like taps his shoulder to start making him play louder to distract people.
Now's not the time, Gork.
It's a bunch of fey shit, isn't it?
No fey, just happiness. As Rish is poring over a map at one of the tables.
Yeah, what did I say?
Eh?
Probably
I
between
think was Storval Stairs, yes?
Yeah.
He's,
I'm gonna join Rish at a map. Yeah, that's a little outside of my usual stomping ground over by Ashwood, but I'm familiar with the territory relatively. We're wanting to head that direction. Giants are shit at hiding their tracks. If there's something over there, I can find it.
Not want to give them bigger lead, but maybe should prepare. Have idea on what could be useful, but would need to see if can find in Magnamar. Would delay us another day.
Well, I'm eager to get after them. But if we want to make sure that everything's all right here, lingering another day or so to make sure that the 6 or less that ran away don't double back. Try to take the town by surprise.
Mm-hmm. Is probably good, yes. Did pop over to Magnamar, have them send more people, but they thought would take at least 2 days, which means should show up tomorrow if did set out on time, but never know. Take time to muster people.
Also, out of character, I love that we're basically having this very sober conversation, what is essentially like a really intense party.
I'm sure in the emptiest corner of the bar.
The giant lizard and the dwarf that growls at people like a bear probably doesn't instill a sense of camaraderie that people want to congregate to him.
We're the people that go to a kegger to have a study group.
Oh, God. He's worrying me about what they might have wanted to gain.
Something under it, I think they said, under this place.
Yes, is well linked to Thessalonia. Seems to be a lot of artifacts around there, and seem to be the main thrust of the people that are causing problems for us. Had a friend who knew more about Thessalon. Wish they were still here. Maybe I check in the library too. See if I can't find out more.
Sounds like ancient two-leggy shit.
Very. On both accounts. Was Ruin up north infested with goblin. Had giant helmet in it, so they made giants do things too. But I think was people, was human. Could have been giant, I don't know.
Either way, going to that fortress they've got. Got some scores to settle.
Indeed.
Have to move the map as someone's drink spills and we just calmly keep talking.
Mm-hmm.
Someone tries to pull us in the dance, I just punch them in the crotch and just keep talking. Because eventually someone's going to get drunk enough to not be scared.
Vix would see that and immediately turn around and walk back to the group.
You just see someone walking away. Oh, my tenders.
All right, not going to try. All right.
Nope, it's party time.
So, out of character, our loot amasses just the easy valuables is like 30,700. Which, if I take and sell in Magnamar, gets us each 6,141. Let me copy that over.
Nice.
Yeah, there's definitely a time that you guys have. Like, if you don't want to set out immediately, it's up to you guys. However you want to set out, and with Reach having the ability to teleport, going to Magnamar and stuff is going to be no problem.
I would really like to get Juan healed. He's been running at 2 negative levels for months now.
And yet he still destroyed shit.
It's a shame that they're all out of scrolls of restoration. That sucks.
I will say, if you go to Magnamar, it can be removed pretty easily.
Okay.
I'm not going to be that guy.
Yeah.
Would you, if I got a scroll of restoration, would you be able to cast it, Loki?
No, I'm not quite high enough level for restoration.
I will say there are people at the town that if you go there, they can cast it for you for a fee.
Okay. And I can pretty much use anything with UMD now. So,
out of curiosity, are you also selling that sheet music? Is Pledrum okay with you selling that 5,000 gold piece sheet music?
I would like to make a copy of it before I sell it, definitely.
That's easy to make a copy of. The price comes from the fact that it's very unknown music, and the quality of it as an original piece is worth quite a bit. It's not so much magical as it is unique. So, like, if you started mass selling it, people are going to start wondering, hey, what the fuck is up? But the fact that if you copy it and then sell the original piece, they can tell how old it is and how rare it is. But if you go to try to sell like a freshly copied piece, it's not going to sell for the same. But you can copy yourself and keep it.
Huge copy.
A 20 in linguistics.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Reach can put together a solid copy, then I wouldn't mind selling the original for some cash.
Then Fix would also like to get mithril breastplate and agile put on my light shield.
I will say all this stuff was going to be, as you're discussing it, it's not going to take any time. Like, this is a big enough town that, like, your shield, you could probably find a replacement that already has the stuff you're looking for, and you just do, like, a trade for the equivalent value.
Okay.
I'm not going to make you wait too much for a lot of this stuff. Emmanuel, if you were to buy the healing, do keep in mind that it's 1,000 gold per removal of one negative level, so it'll be 2,000 gold to remove both negative levels. Because it's the material components of the diamond dust.
Yep. So can I just deduct that and assume it worked?
Wham bam.
Yeah, you can just go basically. When you go there, you arrive at a big cathedral and you inquire about it, and there's someone there that actually has the levels to do it. They just require the fee for the material components.
That's cool.
As everyone kind of goes out and buys their magical items, Pledgerum's already got what he needs for a while, I think. So I think he's going to spend the rest of this time in Sandpoint endearing the people to him because they don't know him.
I'll also be in Sandpoint.
I was just about to ask, is Gort going to go visit Magnamar at all?
Not this round yet.
Out of curiosity, I'm trying to remember, is +1 enchantments on armor 1,000 gold with our...
Yeah, because it's just the equivalent ability.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go to the automatic progression page, it has all the costs for enchanting.
Okay.
A +1 on an armor is 1,000. A +2 is 4,000.
All right.
And this automatic
stacks. You can only go up to a +5 worth of enchants on it. Because you can't do like a plus. You can't do +1s or +2s. So they limit the added benefits. So you can't get like +10 worth of random stuff on a weapon. You can't get flaming burst, shocking, all that stuff all in one thing.
Yeah. Automatic bonus progression is definitely the way to go for this group, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
It just feels silly to buy the same exact items every time you play.
Yeah, and
like
it's
you have to get a headband, you have to get a belt, you have to get that cloak.
We revolve games week to week, and it just feels like a waste to spend that much game time bookkeeping.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
This is a side topic, but I keep forgetting to post this in the chat. I'll probably do it later. For Sons of Damerhall next week, if there's any like potions or scrolls that you want to try to find, the markets there are very diverse. So if you get any in Sons of Damerhall in the Dinport where you guys are, I'll put this in the chat as well. But like, if you want to do any research ahead of time.
Yeah, we just landed on one of our little slivers of civilization we get in this game.
Don't worry, we don't have any money anyway.
Yeah, because I was just thinking about this because I've been making like handouts for like the stock of different shops that you guys have been running across, but there's like several dozen vendors in Dinport. That would be a nightmare for me to try to do. So we'll instead go, what are you looking for instead? So sorry, that was a off topic there, but
no worries. You can find scrolls up to 5th level, by the way, for Rish. After that, it's hard to find scrolls.
Yeah, I figured with Magmar being as big as it was, it wouldn't be too hard.
Yeah. The higher level spells are one of those things like in lore, people aren't willing to share like the high level magics they obtain as easily as the lower level stuff that a lot of people have.
Yeah, because it's largely their own research.
And there is a sizable wizard community in Magmar, as it is the base for huge amounts of golem crafting. It is like the golem crafting capital of the world.
Yeah.
So if you ever have a fuck ton of money to burn in this campaign, you can go there and buy a golem very easily. But it is very expensive. So let me know when everyone has everything they need and we can continue there. Pledrum, as you're like endearing yourself to the town, even after that first night, people have taken a shine to you. It's not hard to get people at Sandpoint to like you. And buttering them up with liquor was definitely the way to go. They also saw you helping the town, so that all itself is another endearing moment. You do see a couple times, you see a couple guards come up to you like, are you the guy that was with the group? And did you jump from the top of that building onto a horse that came out of that seemed to come out of nowhere?
Liquor him up on butter.
Man coat.
I assume that I'd be able to get another batch of Giant's Bane arrows.
Yeah.
Then would I be able to get
anything that's like I think it was like less than 10,000 is like no requirement to try to find. So you're fine there.
That brings up a question I had, Richard. If I pick up an arrow with my hand and throw it, is that an improvised weapon?
I would allow it. You're not technically supposed to throw arrows like that, and you are the king of improvisation, so.
Yeah. Normally I would say that should do less damage, but I know Pledrum's got feats that then increase said damage. So.
Yeah. And plus it's the Bane arrow if he grabbed one of Emmanuel's, so.
Believe they would be doing damage as, what, huge arrows?
That's amazing.
Anyways. Just a question for later when I got throw anything, so now I can throw improvised weapons too.
Yeah, only other thing I'm going to do is create a whole bunch of visibility scrolls, because that and Spider Climb might just come in handy when we're attacking a fortress.
I do think that would cut, obviously, the range down to like 10 feet.
Yeah. Keep in mind also, I'm not sure if Kenneth, you calculated or not, there's a lot of magical items you guys have that are technically still listed as being on like Lucilla and Gogmert. If you guys need to redistribute, or if you guys don't want them to sell or whatever.
Oh, the one thing missing out.
Like the Headband of Ponderous Recollection, the Scarab of Golembane.
The really only big standout magic item that Lucilla had was the Blinkback Belt, the 2 daggers, and someone.
Yeah, it has the Cold Iron Returning, and then the Flaming, I think, and the Cold Dagger as well.
That's the other thing I want. Boots of Striding and Springing.
Oh. Don't you guys have one of those already? Oh no, you have Boots of the Winterland.
Yeah, and a Cloak of Elvenkind.
Actually, I think I'm just a little shy on that one. Let me see.
I'm trusting you guys to be honest about your purchases.
Yep.
I don't feel like policing you guys every little detail of that, and we've been playing enough that I don't think we're going to try to cheat ourselves like between that.
Yeah.
Right. While they're out having a shopping day, there is a little role-play scene I want to do with Pledrum, since it's just us and Sandpoint. But before that, I would like to wander outside of Sandpoint and use the survival skill roll to gather herbs. There's the herb section of equipment here. And I'm looking for one called Desna's Star. It's a DC 13, an 8 hours work to find 1 dose.
You said a Desna Star?
Here, I can just link it if you'd like.
Yeah, I was clicking on it right now.
Yep. I just discovered when I was making Gork that there's this entire herbs section.
Yeah, forest and plant. I was just checking the terrain before I said yes. So.
Yeah,
you can do that, no problem.
Looking through there, so I'm pretty sure I could do it on taking a 10, but I feel like I should just roll.
I will say I'll probably give you multiple doses depending on the roll.
So that would be a 37 because plus 7 to forge.
Go ahead and give me 1d4, and that's how many herbs you can get after 8 hours.
2.
Because these aren't exactly like, oh, you just walk down the path and there's one, there's another.
Yeah.
You still have to actually search for them and stuff, but
because they're special herbs.
Yeah.
I've curiosity, how much does it cost to have an enchantment moved from one to another? Because I have stud leather of light fortification. Can I have that moved to my breastplate?
Yeah, the cost for that, I believe I said was what was it?
The crafting cost?
No, if you're just transferring a equivalent thing to a different object, I think I put it at like just like the equivalent of like a +1 enchant. So I'll say like 1,000 gold. If it's like if it's cheaper, you can let me know. But if it's like, no, it's like 500. I'll say 500 gold to get it transferred.
Okay.
I had a list, but I kind of lost it, and then I'm like, fuck it, I'll just ad-lib it here. It costs a little bit to transfer it over, but I'm not gonna sweat too much of that.
Yeah.
You have to kind of like wait around town for the better part of the day as you're shopping to go back and retrieve it.
Mhm.
But you'll be able to get it the same day.
Weren't we gonna transfer over the returning ability?
Oh yeah, to his loot from the cold iron dagger and to the loot. So
I could have sent that in with someone if they're going.
Yeah.
And then I can just pay the cost, 500.
Yeah. Normally, I would say you're supposed to transfer between weapon to weapon of equivalent category, but since yours is an improvised weapon, that's fine.
Also, boomerang loot was just be a lot of fun.
Yeah. But yeah, like generally what I limited to is like you can't put a dagger's enchant on like a battle axe.
Mhm.
But you can.
Did you just want
equivalent,
the,
longs?
the belt?
Well, no,
The belt I think is only for daggers.
it's
'cause
only
it's
for
like
daggers.
belt.
Oh, that sucks.
Or, actually, Emmanuel, what if we transferred it to just one of those giant main arrows?
That's fun. You have a blink back giant bane arrow. I think arrow is technically ammunition, so it gets destroyed once you
it's
throw
expanded.
Unfortunately. So yeah, I'll move that over to the loot since Richard is allowing me to.
Yeah, and then if Gork ever gets too uppity, you do have that dwarf bane pick.
it.
Ah, yes, I will keep many a dwarf bane weapon on me for the day Gork betrays me.
Dwarf bane returning loot.
Gork's gonna come out of the shadows in the last scene and he's gonna go, raised by bears, you really bought that line.
Yeah.
I was just polymorphing every time, you fool.
Yeah. Oh man, that was honestly my favorite joke from the second Zoolander movie. Is where at the end it was revealed that the entire prophecy that the entire movie was built upon about Adam, Eve, and Steve will fail. Characters like, really? Adam, Eve, and Steve? You guys bought that? That was the first thing that came into my mind. You're all fucking stupid.
Would anybody mind if I sold the full plate of light fortification so I could have enough to get the boots of striding and springing? Give me that movement speed back.
It gives me immense emotional support to know that's not being used inside a bag. So.
Yeah.
No, go for it. I think there's other stuff too in our loot if we really want to. Like we were carrying around a plate armor.
Yeah, that's what she was.
Yeah.
There's also the Ring of Ferocious Action.
What does that do?
It's like if you gain a staggered condition, you can ignore it for up to 5 rounds.
I feel like the bear
So
should
if
wear
someone
that.
doesn't have a ring, it's helpful just in case.
Yeah, do you have a ring, Gork?
Nope.
Maybe give that to Gork.
How does he feel about jewelry?
This is one of those the game system will take a little precedent. But
Actually, you could probably sell that dwarf bane heavy pick too, since decent cash for something we're probably not going to use much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna be fighting many dwarves. That would be a turn for this campaign, sure. First giants and then dwarves.
Little do you know.
They're giant dwarves, like in Gombo's camp.
I mean, fire giants are technically giant dwarves.
Bane's just a +1 bonus, but yeah. So that
That's like what, 500 if you sell it because it's half.
500 plus
I
whatever the
think
weapon.
Weapons are twice the cost of armor. So weapons.
Okay, so that's
2,000
1,000 gold.
apiece. The +1 bonus on a weapon is 2,000 gold instead of 1,000.
I know no one's probably going to use that vicious trident, so that's another +1.
Happy picks 8, so that's 308 plus.
Vicious isn't that great if you're not a troll.
2308 divided by 2. Yeah, that pick's worth 1,154. Sell it.
I will say the vicious ability would be actually really good on a barbarian in 5e though, because in order to stay in rage, you have to hurt yourself or get attacked. So if they're not attacking you, you can hit them anyway and then take the damage as well. And it reduces it like crazy.
And
That's
vicious.
just a side tangent.
+1 as well.
You have some masterwork hand axes that are technically cleavers. You probably don't need. Figure we just get the bookkeeping out now while we're thinking about it.
I'm looking up, just Googling like helpful Pathfinder magic items, and 19 out of 20 of them are all negated by the automatic progression. It's just sad how much stuff I'm like, oh yeah, I get that. Oh wait, no, that gives +2 to Dex.
Like some of them have features that like are beyond just the +2s and stuff.
Yeah.
Which if you wanted something like that, we could reduce the cost if it was equivalent cost because of the extra benefit.
Yeah, it's just
like
remarkable
there was the
how
headband
much.
of Ponderous Recollection, which technically gave a +2 int,
Mm-hmm.
but it also had extra benefits. So
there's also a magic item that I always like. It's a Seducer's Bane's wristbands, I believe, that are essentially just a magic item that's really good at saying "fuck you" to anyone who tries to mentally mess with you. Because not only does it help you resist it, but then when you do resist it, you know who tried to cast a spell on you, and they get the feedback that it still worked. I had those for Manfred for a while until I became full undead. So that way, if anyone tried to mess with my brain, I could resist it and then play them for the idiot.
Yeah.
Have a high enough bluff.
Mm-hmm. Never came up, but just in case.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you also have a bunch of maps that are worth about 1,000 gold as well. I'm sure you already sold those.
Manfred, have a contingency plan?
Yeah, you took the
Plans
armor
on
off,
plans
still
on
looking at
Thank God they didn't find the dirty
prices.
bomb.
That's set to go off in that country around Skull and Shack.
Yep.
That'd probably be a good campaign to have people from that country just kind of show up and be like, "Yeah, I had to get the fuck out of there."
Yeah, I know that Kenneth was talking about being one of Asteri's kids at some point. So the idea of a rich kid that was kicked out of their nation with a trust fund getting lumped in with pirates is kind of funny to me. Because the Pirates of the Shackles are about as far from caring about noble bloodlines as you can possibly get. I'm just waiting for you guys to be done with everything.
That's like another grand each, I think. She took the armor off already. So I don't remember what the price on that was.
She used it for the equivalent cost to get her boots.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is riveting radio here, but
Of course.
bookkeeping has to happen sometimes.
Yeah.
So the rest of that is pick the trident and the 3 hand axes is another 5.1 gold each. But I think we've done with the otherwise shopping.
Yeah. I will say it is about the end of the night when you guys return, and there are people that arrive from Magnamar to usher up the defenses of the town. Probably not as much as you kind of expected there should be, but with the bureaucracy and stuff, about 12.5 men to mount up the defense, and then realize how fucking shitty the attack here went, or probably didn't, that they probably assume it went because the damage to the walls and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely seems like they're going to be getting more here shortly as well. Because now they realize, oh shit, they weren't fucking around. They weren't bluffing.
Sometime before the others get back from Magnamar, I would like to have a moment with Pledrum.
Yeah, take it away whenever you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I imagine there's some spot in Sandpoint that's a little bit more natural, a little like just a short distance away from buildings. I know that there is. I've just forgotten because I'm not seeing the map.
There's a forest all around Sandpoint, but in terms of the actual, there's a river. There's like right past the first map that you fought in with that wall, like literally right on the other side is woodlands. So
yeah, Gork's made himself like a little campfire there. When Pledrum finds him, and he's got like a little pot that he's boiling some water on. He goes, Pledrum, good to see you. Come over here. Found some Desna's flowers in the woods. This will make a tea. Make her sleep a little bit more efficient so we can get started earlier. Pull up a log.
All right, Pledrum will go ahead. What kind of tea are we having?
Desna's
I guess you
flower.
said Desna's flower.
Yeah, as I just throw some flower petals into it. It'll take a moment. I tap the iron pot. Got this off of one of the two legs in the town. I don't know how much it was worth, so I just gave him a handful of that those coins that the she lizard gave us. Out of character, I gave a villager 50 gold for this pot.
Extremely generous of you, Gord.
They very much encourage you to return if you ever need anything.
Yeah. It wasn't even like a store. It was just a random person I saw with a pot. I'm like, hey, you want these things for that?
Seems about equal weight. Trade you my metal for your metal.
It's not that Gork doesn't understand money. He just doesn't care about it. Also, he probably can't count past his fingers. Anyway, while that's bubbling, right, Pledrum, I need to ask you a favor.
Let me hear it, Gork. See if I can help.
Though it does physically pain me to say it, you're probably the two legs. Of all the two legs, you're the one I trust the most. And going into, well, you've known me for a little bit. You know I sometimes get a little bit of a temper.
Maybe now and again.
Yeah. When we were interrogating the giant leader, you're the one keeping a level head about it. And now we're going after them at their home. I need you to keep me honest. Keep me from going too far. They've got my family, Pledrum. Boils my blood, but I need to stay calm about it. I need to not cross any lines. So I want you to keep me honest about it. And honestly, those that we've fallen in with here, they seem all right. Better than the last ones, but I don't know if I'd trust them all the way yet. But Dandy one, the one with the snake whose mom bedded many angels.
Gold star.
Hero point.
Yeah, Manuel. What about him?
He seems like if it starts going south, he's gonna turn tail and run back to Mothball or wherever he keeps talking about.
When you start talking about your family, Pledrum gets a much more serious tone about him than he usually has.
Mm-hmm. And the she lizard, I don't know. Seems practical, but cold. And the little one, Shino, fix good spirit, but I mean, did you see her in the fight with the giants? She was running in the midst of them, telling them all, pile in. More lost in it than I was. There's something brewing in there. We need to keep these three on the right track, you and I, Pledrum. Something big is brewing. These lands. My family in the mix, I can't always trust myself to keep a clear head. The full moon's getting closer, and that always makes me edgy.
Have I been traveling long enough with Gork to know how he is when the full moon gets closer?
I imagine you have to give some like in Pathfinder universe knowledge. Natural lycanthropes like Gork, they don't go into like a berserk rage and force a transform on the 3 nights of the full moon, but the like primal bestial aspect of their psyche is very much closer to the surface, and they become very easily agitated, and they don't always like reasonably respond to things. Violence becomes easy, but they're still pseudo in control of themselves.
Now I'm gonna have to go back to the calendar and keep track of when the full moon's supposed to be now.
Just do what I did when Thrum was on the timer for turning into a werebat. I just rolled 3d6 and said that's how many days until the full moon.
I might do that, but I actually do have a calendar I need to update anyway, and it'll tell me how long it's been because they did clearly mark when you guys started, so it'll be fairly easy to determine once I can actually figure out how long it's been.
Right. But mechanically, the full moon doesn't really do anything to natural lycanthropes. They just get really edgy. It's like one of those things where, you know, a strong insult, and if they don't catch themselves, the claws come out.
Yeah.
At this point, Pledrum would go, I understand what you mean, Gork. The others, I think they have good hearts, but I think they've been through a lot. And then he's gonna I'm gonna look around. Are there any like stones that, or like obsidian or something that looks like it would flake sharp? Richard?
I didn't understand. You kind of like hiccuped on my end.
I just look around. Is there like a stone I can recognize anywhere that would flake sharp, like obsidian or something like that?
I'll say yeah. That's not a problem.
So he'll, as he picks up this rock and he takes it over, probably picks up like a bigger, hefty stone, and he starts chipping away at it. And he goes, I thought about doing this, Gork, when our last party bid it. I need to know I could have someone to trust to make sure we'd make it out of there, but I didn't know we'd be traveling together for this long. And now he has this sharp, primitive knife, and then he cuts the palm of his hand with it. Because this is a tradition that my caravan carried out, and many of the Varisian caravans carry out. And I'll hand the now bloodied primitive knife to Gork.
I assume you're indicating to have me cut my hand?
Yep.
Awkward silence for a couple seconds where then Pledrum has to do the motion of the hand.
Yeah.
Also, I like while this is happening, we flash to the rest of your party that's still stuck in the Feywild. I don't know, guys. That guy looks pretty trusting, and this is a giant mushroom man with giant razor-sharp teeth.
Yeah. I go to use the obsidian knife on my palm, but since I imagine it does less than 5 damage, it just does jack shit because it's not silver. So I go, moment. And I on one of my hands I pop my claws, and my claws do count as silver, so I use a bear claw to cut the palm of my hand.
Pledrum will go. It all works, and then he'll go and extend to give Gork a handshake.
Yeah, tentatively at first, but I go for it.
Here we go, Gork. Now we're blood brothers. Your family is mine, my family is yours, and we look after each other.
I like that. It's good. Yeah. Well, as a word of warning, after we rescue my brothers, they might try to beat you up a little bit to make sure that you're actually, worthy of being in the Ashwoods. I know you are, but fish fur's a little bit thick in the head.
Can't wait to meet him. Now I gotta go get my loot back from whoever I sent it off with. Probably a Fixa or Reach. Probably not Emmanuel.
Big's probably taking care of it.
I gotta go pick up my...
Besides this loot, and then just to fix us carrying it.
Right.
I know it's not the giant one we talked about, but it's probably still sizable for being able to bash people.
Definitely the classic, ship or the doorbell rings upon entry. Shopkeep looks around, and all of a sudden the loot just kind of pops up from over the counter edge.
I do tell Pledgeon to take some of this tea, because essentially, so you guys know, so you don't have to pull it up, drinking the tea lets you take 8 hours worth of rest in 6 hours.
Oh, yeah. I imagine that we were drinking it over the course of our conversation.
Yeah, and I got 1 dose is enough for 6 people, so we can distribute it to the party so we can get an earlier start the next day.
Yeah. And plus you still have another use of it for future.
DC 13 to forage up. It's very easy for me to get more.
So yeah, I believe that would probably be the day coming to a close.
Mm-hmm. And that's how Pledgerum got his level in Wear Touch Shift. I'm joking. I'm pretty sure I haven't asked Richard about what happens if I bite someone. Because lore-wise, that is how they become an afflicted lycanthrope. But
luckily, most of the people you bit have been killed, so we haven't had to worry about that.
Or they've been non-humanoids, because I can only do it to other humanoids because I am a humanoid. That's how.
I will say that's probably a good point to like. It might be one of those things that it's only closer to the full moon that biting somebody can inflict that.
Yeah, sure.
We can just roll with that. Like when it's actually the full moon and the days before it, and the day after it or something, that's when it can actually be infected onto others.
I just know a lot about Pathfinder lycanthropy because, surprise, surprise, there's going to be werewolves in the spooky Carrion Crown game.
Shocker.
Yeah, they only say it in the player's guide.
Yeah, there are were creatures in a lot of these games.
I mean, you guys ran into a were rat in the psychiatric building when we in book, I think, too.
No, I genuinely forgot about that.
Yeah. Just a were rat that had gone crazy because he was a were person and couldn't remember anything other than the animal instincts. I think his name was like Fidge.
Of the 2 lycanthropes you've met, Gork is the more well-balanced one.
All right, so I think Pledgeum and Gork head back and give everyone some of the tea.
Just carrying a pot of slowly cooling, boiling liquid. I'm like, right, everyone stick your hands in, get a fistful.
Where have y'all been? And why does it smell like sex? No, he wouldn't.
Did you just have sex with someone?
He wouldn't have said that in character.
Stick my hand into the boiling liquid and just throw a fistful.
Yes.
Manuel says that. Miko's like, "Oh, sorry, it's been a long couple days. I needed some relief."
And what these? These some sort of herb mix, yes?
Yeah. Local flower found from the woods. It'll make your sleep quick and restful.
That's what my friend said.
What, the Fae?
Yeah, the last time I drank something strange, it just woke up the next morning, so bottoms up.
Yeah, I remember. We met him. Everyone thought I was crazy because I said he smelled bad. You three need to trust me more, is all I'm saying.
And I don't think I've distrusted you at this point.
Manuel's already finished with it.
Does concern me if he has anything to do with prophecy. But his thing for later. Is setting out then?
First light.
I think so, unless anyone has something else to do here. I think we'll turn in, get up early the next morning, and head out.
Mm-hmm. Yep, because then you get 8 hours of
Pick up
sleep.
regular arrows as well.
It's also worth pointing out that first light for Gork is literally when you see that thin red band of the sun rising on the horizon. It's like, all right, it's time to go. It's like 4:30 in the morning.
First light would probably be a lot later than that because right now you guys are like right before winter.
Mm-hmm.
So longer nights, shorter days.
Mm-hmm.
Still have cold winter gear or cold weather gear. Though
Luckily,
I
it's not
imagine
so-
on her, it makes her look like what was it, the kid from Christmas Story or whatever it is, just arms out straight and can't bend them.
I can't put my arms down.
Luckily, it's a little warmer here than it was up in the higher elevation of the Hook Mountain area that you were in. Still a little chilly than compared to what you used to. Like during the summertime, rather. But since dispatching those hags that were controlling the weather, it's definitely gotten a lot better. So the question is, how are you guys going? Are you just going to walk from here, or do you have a different plan?
I mean, unless anyone else has the other idea, Gork is just gonna huff it.
I just wanted to ask before I just assumed you guys are just traveling by foot.
Well, how far can Rish get us?
Never been to any of those places, so high chance of mishap.
Yeah, high chance of fucking up. The closest
you could
she
get
can
us
get
further
without so
north
much
than
issue. She could probably
Sandpoint.
teleport you back to Turtleback Ferry if you wanted to try to go by foot through the woods.
If you guys wanted, I mean, I can prepare phantom steeds for everyone the day before. If that's what we want to do. Or I can just cast phantom steeds, I mean.
I'd say
Might be good,
teleport up there and then let the bear guide us through the woods.
And the phantom steeds at this point will ignore difficult terrain as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even if they can't fly yet, they're stupid fast.
And tireless.
So yeah, I can oh, it's 1 hour per level though. Which is actually at this point pretty high. 11
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
That's 11 hours. That's pretty much a day of travel.
Mhm.
Like the majority of it, at least.
Yeah, Emmanuel doesn't like to travel for more than 7 or 8 hours. You don't want to get chapped ass.
If I use
How
a
are you not dead yet?
3rd level spell slots, I can make everyone a phantom steed.
Everything
Including
in
the
moderation.
snake?
I
No,
just
I'll
assumed he was
shrink
going to
him
be
down.
riding on the snake.
Yeah, it could
He'll be
be
riding behind you guys though, because
I'll shrink the snake down.
I mean that's still
with,
small. I mean that's still medium
no.
creature, isn't it?
I'll turn him into a little statue.
Oh,
Carry
gotcha.
companion.
Oh yeah, that.
Okay, then yeah, the Phantom Steed will definitely get you there a lot faster because 100 feet per move. That's quite fast.
Mhm.
Like that'll get you there in a third of the time, or no, like way faster than that. Because you normally can travel at like say 30 feet,
Mhm.
and that's I have to look at the travel times.
Mhm.
I think that's how we're heading out.
So yeah, a light horse, which is like half that speed, travels at 40 miles per day. So you're at least probably pushing like 80 miles per day, maybe 60 if you're gonna kind of stop and check things.
Yeah, that's 11 miles an hour at 100 feet per round.
And you can walk across water with these things. So
Mhm.
I'm just trying to track how many days if you're kind of.
It's mainly just Gork clinging onto it for dear life because he doesn't know how to ride a horse, but he's like,
Yeah.
still better than the teleportation.
Yeah, this is probably pushing maybe 5 days at most for travel compared to the over a week prior. So, because that's 100 miles, but you can go overland travel. I'm doubling like the light horse, that would be 80 miles per day.
Yeah, I got an 8-hour day of traveling.
88 miles per hour.
88 miles per day.
Yeah. But yeah, shouldn't take you too long. Like 4 days maybe.
That's just
Get
at the
back to the
stairs.
future.
Yeah, probably 3.
Because with these, you can also ignore difficult terrain because you can pretty much make a straight line towards your direction.
Yep.
Tally ho, bitches.
These are literally the
Plus,
Skyrim forces.
We might want to stop in Ravenmore, and since it's like the closest town, see if they know anything about this fort of the Giants, or fort the Giants are occupying.
It's a good idea.
We can probably stop in and ask goodbye, but I'm not sure if we want to stay there. I don't know.
I'd probably cut like at least an hour off our travel day.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, the Storval stairs. Did we figure out where those are?
yeah, you kind of got the gist of where they are, and it wouldn't be too hard to figure out where they are once you get to that general area.
Oh, yeah, they're here next to the dot where it says the Storval stall.
Yeah. Okay, so you set up. As you're traveling through, like the wind in your hair, pretty much, because it's just like a quick traveling. Sorry, a quick travel.
I'm just picturing the camera panning across the party, and then it ends up on Ridge with a fake wig and flowing hair.
Every time I picture Marisha, I picture her having feathers, like, but I know she doesn't.
Like
It just makes me think of it
decoratively?
sometimes.
I can see that, like, from like a decorative thing, not like biology. Like,
Yeah.
Indian headband.
Um,
There aren't feathers flowing in the wind. They're ears of the people.
No,
he's
definitely not an Indian headband, Cope.
Mhm.
A completely unrelated feather head. For everyone watching, not an.
But as you're going through, you do notice some different signs as you're traveling of, like, with just a minimum roll for Gork's survival roll as you're traveling through. You do stop occasionally at some sites of distinct indications of what could be giants. You come across a battle site of some kind. You see what looks like half burnt, half crushed caravans. The battle site itself speaks of almost like a terrible fury. You see shattered stones, pulped bodies left for scavengers after every little bit of anything valuable might have been picked away. It's clearly the damage caused couldn't have been done by anything but a giant.
That plus that giant poop over there.
No, that was just someone who had Taco Bell. You come across a campsite with a campfire that's made of like just a bunch of tree trunks that sits in a ring of boulders, and a mostly eaten carcass of a 14-foot long auroch that sits in its ashes. You eventually come across signs of like blood splatters, and you actually see a dead giant. It is a stone giant, and Gork, if you would like to roll me a survival here.
Absolutely. Lowest roll of the night, but that.
You see different bite marks on this creature. It looks like this wasn't like a one and done scenario. You see marks of wyvern claws, as well as other reptilian marks that you assume it to be maybe like a manticore. Seems that even giants aren't immune to the threats of the wilds. It's probably on day 2 of your journey that you begin to see some more damage to outlying farms. As you're getting close to the town of Galduria, you see one of the farms has been crushed partially. One of the farmhouses, you see what could only imagine were remains of bodies before they've been picked clean of animals.
Mm.
You do as you get past Galduria, you check in with them, and you do know they do speak of some attacks of giants in the past. And you cross the river and forge past Wolf's Ear by the third day. It's about halfway to Ravensmoor before, if everyone can roll me a perception check.
Sure, it'll be great. Y'all know Pledgeham's notoriously great perception checks.
I was going to say, you and Afixa, I think, have the lowest of the bunch. Yeah, that's actually not bad. Everyone but Afixa notices as you're approaching this area. It's another partial farmland. You swear you hear the sound of mooing. Like you're like, okay, there's probably just some cows. But then you notice the mooing is panicked and it is getting closer. As you see cresting over just like the small little mound of dirt, a cow, but it is struggling as it is being carried over the shoulder of an ogre. Those of you who speak giant here, and giants like, I can't believe this. Like these small folks just keep these around, and then they see you and they're like, and then they bring out their hooks as they're about to fight you as they drop the cow as they begin to hastily run away.
Full sprint after him.
My cow now.
Opening volley.
I've never
Drop
seen this
the cow.
but from now on, it is mine.
And you guys can position yourselves however you wish.
I like where I am there.
And but yeah, they seem to be ogres that have just wandered through and have been picking at communities.
It's like, ooh, natural 20 initiative. Then I fix a 27.
Now you know how it feels.
It's got a really bad roll.
But yeah, first up, Afixa. You see these giants. The one in the back had just dropped the cow as the ones in front bring out these hooks as the one in the back pulls out a surprisingly big longsword.
She would,
That's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
It is a long sword.
Well, it looks bigger because he trimmed down the pommel.
she would move up and just kind of, drawing her weapon on the way and say, "You could turn away now. Your life isn't worth a few cattle you've stolen. You don't have to go through with this."
As you basically make this declaration, they just laugh at you. They don't think you're anything. The hubris of giants is a new thing.
She'll go full defensive because I imagine she knows they have reach, and so even if they get close, she's not going to be able to move into attack. So she'll go full defense.
Mm-hmm. You see this ogre in the back with the sword just kind of leaps up, just hovers off of the ground, and then charges through over to here.
Oh, nice, ogre mage.
Mm-hmm.
Not the dreaded Og Mage.
Let me check something real quick.
That sounds like something from Warhammer.
Yep.
The Og Mage.
Yeah, this'll hit you all.
Oh, yeah.
As she is going to cast a cone of cold. And get all of you. So I need reflex saves.
I need a spell pen first.
Oh, I forgot you had that.
30.
Nope.
13.
Oh, wait, no. That was
I haven't rolled yet. Sorry, I'm
Okay.
just looking at their.
I'll go and roll reflex just to see. Oh, that one. Go spell pen.
15.
Doesn't get through.
What about Juan? I know he has spell resistance as well.
He would still be in little statue form.
Okay. So I'll just remove him from the map for now.
Well, I'm going to release him later.
Gotcha.
I'm just going to.
Okay. So yeah, Afixa, you are not affected. The rest of you, anyone who rolled higher than a 18, it'll take half, which I think Emmanuel and Gork are the ones that don't take full damage. I mean, however I said that, I maybe reverse it. Emmanuel and Gork take half. Everyone else takes full.
Yep.
And then
But
Afixa is immune.
Oh, I understood it.
All right.
So standing there in basically just surrounded by frost and rime that completely untouches her, she just kind of looks around and then looks at the other two that haven't attacked yet with a quizzical brow of, "Are you sure?"
That'd be
But yeah, 39 points of damage, reduced to 20. I'll just say 20 for those who passed the dex save. And they look at you like quizzically that you're just immune, but they still have their longsword at the ready because it looks like the rest of them in the back took the brunt of it. And it is Risha's turn.
Mm-hmm. Well, as unfazed as they are by that, unfortunately, Emmanuel isn't in range to get haste. But it is more
Such is
important
life.
on the tank. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and cast haste.
Haste it up. Okay. And from there, we go on to the ogres who are going to go here and here to attack Afixa. And you can charge at double your speed, right?
Yes.
Up to, yeah.
So base can just get over here to strike at Pledrum with a charge. Okay, so these are going to be one attack each on. Well, two attacks on Afixa, one attack on Pledrum. Let's see if this works. Okay, ignore the second attack for that.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
these
that'll
ones just
miss.
auto roll both attacks, but attack number ones are the one that we're focusing on.
Miss.
So that'll be miss. And then that will be 31 to hit Afixa.
That'll miss because I took full defense.
And then this one will be against Pledrum. 18.
Okay.
You are
18
flat-footed currently because you haven't acted yet.
flat-footed, then that will probably. Let me check real quick. AC flat-footed, it misses.
Okay, just checking because it doesn't factor
21
you.
flat-footed AC.
Good to know. And then it is, speaking of, Pledrum's turn. This ogre tried to get face-to-face with you.
All right, first things first, going to do a bardic performance, inspire courage, everyone. Which I think is still a move action. Let me see. It might be a free action. Oh yeah, it got moved down from a standard to a move. I think that's it. And it
But
gets
hey, at least
free later.
you can always still throw
Yeah, I
your
can't remember when it becomes a swift action. I thought it was 11, but it might be higher than that.
I mean, I'll just go to the Bard page.
Hmm.
I feel like I should remember this, but I can't remember if I've been doing
At
moves.
7th level, it can be a move action. At 13th level, it could be a
Okay,
swift.
there we go. Yeah, okay.
I was going to say, it should be pretty soon.
All right, so everyone gets Inspire Courage, and then I'm going to look at this guy who charged at me and missed and go, we don't need to fight.
Charm person +5 if it's threatened. But it is a ogre, so
Yeah.
Will's not its strongest suit.
What can you do?
He's like, no, I think we have to fight. He actually says this in common, by the way, but it sounds very
Yep.
broken.
All right, well, that's what I can do.
You're just pawns in geopolitical theater of war.
We must fight.
Yes.
Alas, in another life, we could have been friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you sure he's not the mage?
Yeah. No, his wisdom is high, his intelligence is low.
Got it.
Did Emmanuel get skipped?
No.
No, you're up next. After Gork.
For some reason, it has you listed as different. You must have rolled after I had turned it into
Yeah.
descending. Here, okay, fine. It works out anyway. It would be your turn next anyway before Gork, so.
Yeah, and I'm not going to do that much. He's going to move, step over here, put the statue down, and bring Juan back. It doesn't say specifically, but I assume that's a standard action.
I imagine so, because you're like bringing it back out. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
like
says
a-
you have to put it down and do a command word. So that I think that's
yeah, generally command words are actions usually. I think, but anyway, we'll just say it's an action.
Yeah.
It's gonna come fuck shit up next round anyway. Now it's Gork.
By how much does haste increase your movement speed?
30.
30.
Okay, so
Doubles up to 30 of your base, so slightly different for dwarves.
Yeah, I think so. That's just double his movement then.
so that'll be movement of because I was thinking about
Oh yeah, to a maximum of twice the subject's normal speed.
right. Okay, so then I would be 40 then. No matter what, I'm going to swift action pop my shifter's claws. I'm debating about whether I want to charge the mage or one of the auxiliary ogres right now.
Man, I kind of want to just have an adventuring group known as the Auxiliary Ogres. That sounds like a great adventurer team name.
You know what? I may have an idea for that in the future, Richard, but not yet. Let's just say I've recently discovered that ogres in Warhammer Fantasy are different and very much fun. You know what? I'm feeling cocky. I'm gonna try charging the ogre mage just straight on.
Gotcha. So
Wait, is it flying off the ground for one?
it is hovering. It is like 5 feet off. So you'll
Like
still be
within
able to hit
melee
it.
range of me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 5 feet off the ground, so it's still in melee range of you.
All right. This is how Gork died last time, so let's see what happens. Because I'm pretty sure.
One will get an attack on you before you.
Yes, my AC will be 8 higher for defensive training and for just out of reach because he's probably attacking with reach.
24 to hit.
That will miss
Gotcha.
by quite a wide margin.
Yeah, so you're good.
So Afixa just is dramatically posing after giving the peaceful ultimatum. Then as the frost clears, Gork full on like Wolverine charges with his claws out. He's all like, "Run if you want, you'll just die tired." Just gonna pounce the one in the middle. So this will be, what is it, 2 higher for charging?
Yes.
Okay.
And your AC is like 2 lower, so.
Yeah, but
That'll
even
hit.
All right. And then I am power attacking with this, to be clear. 17.
No worries. 17 points of damage. It takes that and it grunts in pain as your claws just rip into it.
Yep, magic, silver, all that jazz. And that's all I got.
Gotcha. Afixa.
All right, let me.
I'm playing too peaceful music for this. I'm going to turn on some combat music.
Was I in range of haste? I'm trying to remember.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know, Richard. I'd like to be Zen when I'm slaughtering some ogres.
We don't have any monks in the party, so no.
5-foot step up and full attack.
I guess
You don't
technically
know.
you can't because don't you have a monk level?
Me? No.
No, Fix It did for a while.
Okay. That's someone did.
Yeah.
You 5 foot and then full attacked?
Yep.
All but that 20 hits.
Okay. And one more for haste.
I'll also hit. Okay, it is looking very rough now. As you took the project and I just realized, like, oh shit, maybe we should have retreated.
You ready to give up yet?
Too bad.
Oh, and then you just get the ogre mage. No.
That's my full turn.
Ogre mage turn. quick.
Come on, try to run away from me. Give me my 2 attacks.
I'm just checking ranges on things.
No, it's understandable. I've been doing that in the 5e because you guys are running into more spellcasters now.
Okay, they are going to cast defensively. Actually, no, they don't know better. They're going to try to back up. They don't know you have to step up. Now they're going to try to cast defensively.
Yep, unfortunately, it's the one after that. If they try to move again, then I get an AOL. So.
Yep. They don't have the concentration list on here, so now I have to go look that up real quick. I can't remember the exact. Because I know it's a D20 plus like level plus casting stat, I think.
I think it's just level.
Casting defensively is D20 caster level and ability score modifier. You're thinking of spell pen.
Yeah.
What's it trying to beat? You just said
it's a DC based
level.
on its spell level.
Gotcha. I haven't done actually a lot of casters in Pathfinder, I've realized.
Yeah. 17, that's like right on the cusp. Give me 1 second.
I think it's 4.
Casting defensively 15 plus double the spell level. So now the spell fails. So it just kind of fizzles out and it just kind of looks at its hand like, shit. And that's all it can do.
Yeah, I feel like I should at least get out of the middle of the group. And I've got 80 foot of dimension door now. Or slide or whatever that is. I think first I'll go ahead and whip this one out of the toy box and cast Disintegrate. 15 might not actually hit.
Is it touch?
It is touch because it's a ranged touch.
That will touch.
Right. 73 technically untyped damage.
And it takes that if it fails its fort, right?
Yeah, that's
Damn.
It takes way less if it succeeds.
31. So I believe it saves.
Yeah, saves mine, yeah.
So instead it takes 24. By the way, I did forget to mention, as it got to its turn, you see the wound, Gork, that you had made begin to seal up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely felt that disintegrate. And, you see his eyes flash when it sees this beam hit it, and it just manages to shrug off the energy before it could take fully hold of it. But it is now very scared of Reesh, because that hurt.
Yeah,
That's after they know that they managed to resist partial of it.
Bad move. Should be more scared of me.
Holy shit, that spell has the ability to disintegrate a 10-foot cube of non-living matter.
Yeah.
Goodbye, wall.
Yeah, I think that's also part of the panic. It shoots through the creature partially, and it looks back briefly and sees this crater in the ground of where it just disintegrated in the ground.
Like a 10-foot fucking crater in the ground.
Fucking freeze a beam.
And use a exploit point to teleport behind Emmanuel.
I also imagine the crater is perfectly a square too. It doesn't explode; it just goes and it's gone.
What that like a tri-beam?
Tri-beam fire.
Yeah, it's like a 4x4 Minecraft cube. Just.
By the way, I noticed yesterday that the Minecraft subscription ran out, but I wasn't sure if anyone was still playing. So, if anyone does decide they want to keep going, just let me know and I'll renew it.
Yeah, I was on there yesterday working on my factory. Got some fun stuff for you guys next time we're all on there together.
Yeah, I was opening up.
I was on there today.
Okay. Well, I think
we all
I'm
just get
noticing
on
that
at
the
different times
subscription
and
is
we're
run out,
not
but I think it has a
together.
couple days left on it or something.
I think we all just play at different times. We're not because we got different schedules.
I haven't been playing lately because I got really back into Genshin. So.
Oh yeah.
So,
all right.
I'm going to start with the one against Pledrum. He's going to full attack you.
Hit me with your best shot. Maybe that one was too good.
So I believe that's 46 points of damage.
Let me.
I mean, if his flat-footed was 21, I imagine his AC's higher.
Well, his AC says 23, so I don't know why
23.
the flat-footed was 21, but
That's what it says on the sheet. I can check really quick.
it might be because of your armor. How much dex do you add to your?
I only have one dex.
Oh yeah, that makes sense then.
Yeah, and don't forget, haste has also increased your AC.
+1. Oh yeah, so that.
No, the first one won't hit.
Miss.
All
So
right.
it's only the second one that hits. So you only take 21.
That's
a big difference for Pledrum.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I will go ahead and pop Windy Escape to take 10 off of that if it's not magic, but I don't know if
It
it's
is
magic.
not.
All right, so I'll take 10 off of that.
It doesn't harmlessly pass through you, but it manages to shrug off some of it as it looks like the hook's about to sink into your gut, right at the last minute as it just punctures the side of you. You go windy and it passes the rest of the way through you. This one's going to be +2 to each of these rolls for Gork because it's flanking you.
Yep, and I've got +8 or +6.
I'm pretty sure both of those are going to miss.
Yeah, +6 because I charge lowered it by 2. But
and then 2 attacks against Afixa.
32 AC.
I believe both of those are missed because I think your AC is in the 30s now, isn't it?
32.
Gotcha. It is going to just start backing up.
You had your chance.
And we go to Pledrum.
Low blow. I'm unarmed. I'll 5-foot step up and hit him with my loot.
I haven't taken an arm off yet.
We're gonna pop Arcane Strike. Friendly Rivalry, I think, applies. Yep. And that might be it. I'm gonna do a power attack. And no one's attacked this one yet, right? So there would be no blood for the Empire.
No one's attacked this one yet.
All right. Battle loot, engage. So it will be with haste. So I will do 3 attacks. 1, 2, 3.
And this is with power attack already calculated into the minuses?
Yes, I have it as a toggle, so it's already power attacked.
So those are all hits?
All right, so they're going to take a lot of damage.
Yeah, I'm not even going to roll that sense motive because they're not going to get through that.
Goodness, look at that. The lowest was 25.
He is barely standing.
I tried to be the nice guy.
He's just dumbfounded that you just smacked him with a loot. He's hurt and he's having trouble processing what just happened. But it is now Emmanuel's turn.
For the kill steal.
Emmanuel Swift Action is going to activate the aspects for Juan and himself and send Juan to Burrow. He'd pop up right there. Get a single attack.
No longer negative leveled.
No longer negative level.
Damn, I almost had that snake where I wanted it.
And single shot.
That'll hit.
Alright, just roll the macro for grapple.
So 21 damage. It does grapple for another 20. So 41. It is now constricted.
Alright, and then Emmanuel also got up his 2 aspects. He will use you will move to right here. Use point blank shot, deadly aim, blood for the Empire. Are we flanking? No, we're not. And he will take a shot. Vital strike. At this guy.
That'll hit. Yeah, they're all looking pretty rough. Brings us back to Gork, who's in full frontal of the Ogre Mage.
Take him down!
Yep. Seeing the wound heal up, you see Gorks starts getting more body hair as he swift action takes on his minor bear aspect.
Gotcha, Marge, or you just...
No, minor bear aspect is just
gotcha.
2 points. And he goes, so you heal up, huh? Well, looks like I'll just have to inflict wounds faster than you can heal them. And I'm going to full attack.
Go for it.
So I'm going to go all out. So unarmed strikes up first.
Hit, and hit.
All right. And then 2 secondary bear claws or shifter claws.
Miss and hit.
All right, so here is the shifter claw, 14.
She is unconscious.
And then the unarmed strike attacks. That's
ironically
13, 15,
the ones you miss her with the one of the attacks as it goes wide while you're expecting her to.
Those were damage rolls.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you rolled extra attacks.
Oh, right. Sorry. I forgot that the unarmed strike already did the damage rolls. I'm sorry. Ignore those last 3. But if she's unconscious. So that's, only one of them saves. The fact that one misses saves her life.
Yeah. And then it is Affix's turn.
You just had to take another swing at me, didn't you?
Me, sorry. You want cow? As he points to the cow that's like over the hills running away.
Let's see what the 1d2. One, she'll go finish a job. Nope. You had your chance, friend.
She gets her.
You
Imagine in the anime version of our game, she gets a flashback to Nualia. It's like, no.
Yeah, like he's like, you can have second, and you just stab him, and he just crumples. He's dead.
Way of the merciful.
Ogre Mage, you see as she falls down, she blinks, and she's suddenly conscious again.
Oh, I forgot. Haste. I would have gotten 1 extra unarmed attack.
Go for it.
So at 21.
That hits.
And now we find out if it's fast healing or regeneration.
She's still somehow unconscious after she woke up a second time. But you do see her wounds even when she's on the ground here, closing up again.
Mm-hmm.
It is Risha's turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess I'll pull out the Rod of Toppling, and was going to send one at each, but then that one done died, so 1, 2, and then the rest. Because I'm high enough level to get all 5. Trip attacks will probably only matter for the first 2, and probably not trip the second.
It won't trip the second. The first one next to Pledrum is tripped. Trip the light's fantastic. But
So
it doesn't.
Three,
it doesn't matter because that one's
11.
now unconscious. And this one takes extra damage. That one takes 11. Okay, the one is going to do all it can do to try to break free. Does not break free. I don't know why I rolled strike. I was trying to roll C and B, but it's only like 4 higher, so. But that's all it can do. Pledrum, you're up.
All right, going to charge down that way.
Can't do anything. It's grappled, so.
Yep. And smack him upside the head.
You get blood for the Empire.
Yes, of course.
Blood for the Empire.
And just the...
That hits.
428.
And that one is now unconscious as well. And so I'll go ahead and stop the fight now, but you do notice that the one is still regenerating as it's unconscious. So you'll have to figure out how to deal with that. It's very easy to just keep her down.
When in doubt, hit her with fire.
Do we want to ask this one any questions, or do we have everything we need?
I'm just over here, and you see Gork just like rhythmically stomping on its throat as it keeps regenerating. Take your time, I've got it.
Well, we do have those vials of acid.
Yeah, I mean, see any sort of knowledge I could roll to see what sort of sub-ogre it is.
Sorry, no, I'm sorry.
I think it's a knowledge local for giants, so.
I'm sorry thinking of Dr. Strange. Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
In the experience you've had with giants and stuff, generally when they do regenerate, all the trolls, either fire or acid generally helps. You can imagine it's similar to this one.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls out the 5 acid flasks.
Guess I'll actually, while he's pulling that out, cast acid splash.
And he's like, "Don't worry, guys, I got it." Pulls out the vials, and all of a sudden, they're just like glob. It just hits it.
Why is she melting already?
We just take all the acid, put it in the pot that Gork bought for 50 gold. Just dump it on it again.
It is now dead. I'm going to take you back to the splash page for now.
All right, I need to take a bio.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's go ahead and take a bio before we continue. I was going to go grab something myself, so.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of the fun thing about the little health bars here in Roll20 is that when we got hit by the ice spell, you can really see how large each other's health pools are by comparison to how much they went down.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, I'm not surprised I built Gork to be a hit point sponge. That's how he's defensive.
Mm-hmm. But now I've got another spellcaster to bleed and memorize blood transcription tomorrow morning. Although, if I was right, they've only got 9th level caster, which means
I'm back.
Probably nothing new off of them. We were just talking about how I'm gonna bleed this one.
I can just let you know what they have. They have Charm Monster, Cone of Cold, Gaseous Form, Deep Slumber, Darkness, Invisibility, Fly.
Have Cone of Cold. What was Charm Monster you said stuck out because it's one I don't have?
And there's Gaseous Form, Deep Slumber, and then you have Fly, Darkness, Invisibility, I'm pretty sure. So.
Yeah, I don't think I have Gaseous Form, so now it's a tough choice between those two because either could be useful.
Is that the spell that it was going to try to cast defensively? Gaseous Form?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's hilarious because Gaseous Form only gives you DR versus magic, and my claws are magic, so it wouldn't have done anything.
Oh, no. It was going to try to cast Invisibility.
Oh, okay.
It was going to try to cast Invisibility and get around to the caster. Reach.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I've been listening to that goddamn Eurovision song on repeat.
I know!
I'm pretty sure that's the guys that do the What Does the Fox Say in Disguise. Because they sound a lot alike.
They're good, though. I enjoy it.
Oh yeah. There's also a song that came out in Eurovision that's basically like, I don't eat meat, I eat veggies and pussy.
Yeah, because technically Eurovision.
It's a song about saving the environment.
Yep. Eurovision hasn't actually started yet, so those were just the
these are just the entrants.
The entrances as they were doing their own internal competition.
Mm-hmm.
I do love how many of the other nations' performances are like these very like, I don't want to put it down because they're all quite talented, but they're like, I guess traditional, you could say, conventionally attractive people singing about emotions or love or whatever, and then you got the cross between freaking Daft Punk and something else singing about a wolf and a banana, and I'm like, I want to vote for those guys.
Right. Yeah, honestly, everyone who's online is going on about how they love that one and they love the fucking veggies and pussy one the most because they're the only one to stand out to not just be generic pop songs.
And it's also like I love the name of the band. It's called Subwoofer. It's such a bad pun. I enjoy it so much.
I 100% think this is the fucking Yilvis guys. Like the guys who did What Does the Fox Say and all that shit.
Yeah, I think they are different though because those guys, the What the Fox Say guys, were not Norwegian.
Yeah, they were.
They were?
Yeah, they were from Norway.
Norway's a fun place, man.
Yeah. No, there's also
another weird one is you know that version of Cotton Eye Joe you always hear?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that was recorded by a bunch of Norwegians.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird Norway shit. I'm like, honestly, if I had money to move to any country, Norway probably seems like the best one. Granted, they also have other problems, but
yeah, I will say I just find it funny. Basically, this has reminded me that any American white supremacist who talks about being Caucasian as one monolithic culture definitely has not experienced Europe.
It's also the same concept when people go on about how white people don't have culture. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Have you seen everywhere?
You could talk about the deterioration of local cultures in America, which is definitely real, but there was never like one.
Yeah.
We are the white culture.
Yeah.
And it's more about capitalism, marketing, and stuff like that, kind of replacing the old memes of tradition. And I mean memes as in the study of humanity, not the internet variety.
Also, I come to think that a lot of Northern America, their culture seems to stem a lot from more race involvement. Mm-hmm. But a lot of other countries are like, our culture is our country, not not skin tone and everything like that. Yeah, like if you're French, your culture is French.
Yeah.
That's what you get when you have a country that actually has different types of people in it.
Well, I mean, like France has a very prominent African-based culture. Like the person who wrote fucking Three Musketeers was black.
Yeah, and one of the head generals in the French Revolution was of African descent. He was French-born, but African descent.
Yeah, but you can't say anything about them not being French because they're 100% just.
Oh yeah.
French.
I mean, but yeah,
I don't know.
But you can.
Again,
I mean,
America
it's all about levels, right?
You look heavily on.
You look at the United States,
your
or
heritage
even just
more than anything.
You know, all of the Americas, and it's much more diverse than probably anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
I would be very skeptical if you were to say any European country is as diverse.
Well, yeah, no, definitely. Like, to loop it back to Norway. Norway is very, very white.
White.
I mean, they look like they're having fun, though, so I can't...
Oh, yeah. You do you. You guys are crazy, and I love it.
Yeah.
No, now that I've taken that DNA test, I'm resentful against all Scandinavians.
Woo! Yeah, hate me. I'm technically supposedly really a small percentage of Scandinavian.
I want to get that done, but I'm pretty sure I'm highly German.
Look, your ancestors invaded my ancestors' combo, and in return, my ancestors invaded different versions of your ancestors.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I've also got a lot of Irish, so technically my ancestors invaded my own ancestors and founded then their ancestors.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. I knew you were...
Yeah, Dublin, the capital of Ireland, was founded by Norsemen. So it's almost as if all this bullshit doesn't matter.
Yeah. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
as you're kind of going over and picking apart these fucking ogres, they actually do have some shit on them.
Cool, I'm gonna eat that cow.
Ogre shit.
You go and hunt down the cow, and it
I'm
can't outpace
joking.
you.
If it ran away, I'm not gonna chase it down.
On the ogres, though, they do actually have a chest that is just filled to the brim with 6,000 silver pieces, 600 gold.
Mm-hmm.
And you see 3 barrels that they each were having on their backs of, upon inspection, is all fine brandy.
Mm.
I mean, granted, each one of these barrels weighs about 300 pounds, but if you were able to transport them, they're worth a good amount.
Well, I do have shrink item as a
That's a heavy
spell,
load
so
for me.
Yeah,
That's helpful.
each barrel is worth 400 gold pieces.
Now tell me, what do you shrink? Do you shrink the barrel or the liquid inside?
I want that to actually have been a thing where it's just he casts shrink on the barrel and all the alcohol just spews out and he's like, wait a minute, hold on.
I got this. I
I need to think about it.
Because even a burning fire and its fuel can be shrunken by this spell, so presumably in container and its contents. I can turn it into basically like a little.
I think that is probably what they
presentation of it. So that is that's going to put me seriously down on spells tomorrow if we encounter anything. But
I mean, if we can offload it at just the next town.
yeah, but I mean,
If you guys want to carry it to the next town, you guys are probably going to get there by nightfall this day. So
Yeah, heavy load is 300 pounds for me, so I can just lift one.
yeah, let's just head to the next town and try to sell it all.
that's one of 3 of them.
Although we should probably
there's 3 of
read
them.
the room to try and figure out if the giants stole it from them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because then we
go
should
the
probably
direction
just
they were
return
walking.
it.
Not where they're coming from.
But yeah, by the end of the day, you do arrive at the town of Ravenmore. It's still light in the day, and as you arrive, you see a few people greet you, and they ask you what's going on, and like they seem friendly, but they do seem like it seems kind of like that kind of temperament that like in modern society, okay, we're closing in 15 minutes. What do you need?
Uh-huh.
They do let you know that there is no inn in town. That if you want to stay by, you can camp out nearby, but they don't have anywhere where you can obtain a room.
That's fine. I'm fine with the field.
What about a bath?
They're like, no.
Here,
There's a river.
Emmanuel, you can use this, and I just put a barrel of the alcohol into Emmanuel's arms. I don't know if you can lift 300 pounds.
I doubt he can.
Yeah. He grabs it and
What's your strength score, Emmanuel?
It falls immediately to the ground. There's no way I'm gonna fit inside this barrel.
You just dip your hands in there, you scoop it out, and rub it in. I don't need to explain this to you, Two Legs.
That really doesn't sound relaxing.
Look, there's a river right there. Just
I was
take care of your
saying.
business.
That's a good point. There is a river right there.
Just go downstream of wherever they drink.
Yep. Also, I'm sorry. This is one last small tangent, but since you brought it up, Richard, about the whole people, we're closing in 15 minutes thing. Mm-hmm. It is truly shocking working at Costco how many people come after the closing time, and we're just doing
mad.
Well, they see that the front door is closed, and there's this big door that says entrance, and we have the metal shutters down. We have the exit door still open because we're getting the last few people out of the store. And they come in, they grab a cart, and they see this big door labeled entrance. And right next to it's the hours saying when we close, and it's locked with metal. And in their brain, they go, I guess I just have to go through the exit door to do my shopping. And they try to... I'm like, in what universe do you think that is what we're meaning for you to do? It's 9 o'clock.
I'll be able to get in and get out before they ever know I was there.
Just break in at that point.
Like, I'm sorry. Anyway, it just gets me. I see it every day.
Yeah, I feel that. I've lived that. But anyway, to save you the trouble, they would actually want to buy the barrels of brandy off of you if you wish. So you don't actually have to go through the trouble of that. So you could get 1,200 gold for the 3 of them. Seems like even if it was from people nearby, they don't seem too troubled to just buying it back from you because it's part of life living in this kind of world that it's just to be expected.
It's commerce, man.
Yep.
And yeah, they would let you know of safe areas to camp in, or at least safe areas, because they would mention that there has been some more giant sightings, but the night itself would be peaceful enough. No, just roaming giants. You're about right here in Ravensmoor.
Okay. Thought I heard
So I hate to be that guy, but if this town doesn't have a bar, who the fuck's buying all this booze from us?
An up-and-coming bartender, apparently.
You don't know. They don't tell, and I assume if you ask, they don't tell you either.
Entrepreneur.
You never saw me. As he tries desperately to pull the barrels along. I wasn't here!
No. He
you
just puts it in his trench coat of holding.
That must now be a thing.
I mean, if you do go prying, they just basically tell you that they're very private people. So they do actually have a bar for locals only. But they don't actually have an inn for people to stay at.
Got it.
Okay.
I mean,
memorized, where'd I put it? Secure shelter. Which gets us our own little cabin for the night.
I mean, a
Oh, I
trench
love
coat of
this.
holding would just be a bag of holding sewed into a trench coat. It's not
Oh,
impossible. But yes, a character in the future will have that.
I guess I'll take my musical talents elsewhere.
Anyone's willing to talk about I've got a 0 to it, but I can still try it if anyone's willing to talk about the Storval stairs despite being standoffish to outsiders.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that.
I can scare.
I think we should go to this bar.
Hey, it turns out they like lizards. 17.
Yeah, they're willing to talk to you. They know vaguely of the Storval stairs, as people have talked about it before in the past. It's basically the change of scenery between the lowlands and the plateau is a giant boundary that is about 1,000 feet high. It's just like a sheer cliff almost. Like there's handholds of course, but the only way that goes between the two in this region is known as the Storval Stairs. It's a place where the cliffs only go about 400 feet high, but there is a ancient Thessalonian monument that is it's flanked by immense statues of some people they don't know about from the ancient times, with walls of ancient towers and crumbling buildings that kind of dot the landscape of the stairs. And they kind of tell you the general vicinity of it, but if you don't want to go there, you can find another way around. But if you're going up the Storval stairs, I'd be careful. There's been, like we said, some more giant activity.
Yes, he's much giant. He's fastest way though. But thank you.
I'm pretty sure Emmanuel doesn't realize what kind of service he's assuming for.
Yeah, Emmanuel wouldn't want that service, but I just found that pretty hilarious.
Cue
text.
the Ghostbusters clip.
Oh, yeah.
Put on your Civil War uniform and lie down.
You guys are
know,
sick. You guys are fucking sick.
They could have just not included that when they decided to cut that scene. I don't know.
I don't know. But
I don't know. That's insane. Anyway.
Yeah, you're free for the next day. I assume you're making your way to the Storwell stairs, but if you're not, just let me know.
How long would it take us to get to the Storwell stairs from here?
With your horses, you can get there like just past midday. If you're not using the Phantom Steeds, it's probably another 2 days.
Gotcha.
We can use the Phantom Steeds, but
That's going to tap you out on spells, won't it?
it's going to tap me out on... It's only one level of my spells. It'll tap me out on 3rd level spells, but I'll still have 4th, 2nd, 1st, and 0.
Well, it would make sense to get close and jump in the cabin if Rish wants to make another one and hang out for the night and start out fresh in the morning.
Like, if you want to get like a few hours travel away from the stairs and try to make up camp, that's fine too.
Yeah, it depends. We know there's giant activity in the area because we just killed one and made a bunch of money. It would make sense for them to be guarding the stairs if it's the main route up to their fortress.
I'll be honest with you guys, the 3rd level spells for Bard aren't really that good.
Yeah.
I have Invisibility Sphere, Purging Finale, and Haste other than Phantom Steed.
Yeah, Bard's the king of utility, not really like, oh, this is where all my damage comes from.
And we already have someone who can cast Haste, and I haven't really been using Purging Finale or Invisibility Sphere. Now, Invisibility Sphere might be useful if we want to sneak past, but... because then we'll all be able to turn invisible. But
Sure call. I mean, to me, it's always smart to go in, fully loaded if it doesn't hurt the mission.
Mm-hmm.
In character, what Gork would say if we were discussing this is that dragon that attacked the town, it's already back 100%. Which means if they have half a brain in their head, they know we're coming.
Yes, it's possible, but he left very early in attack, and he's blind, probably. Maybe he has someone take off curse, but I have not dropped it.
Either way, I say we hit them head on, because they're probably going to be looking out for smaller folk trying to slip past them. Straight on attack, everything that we got, we can blow past anyone guarding the stairs.
This is probably a job best done quickly, I would say.
Or we could head up, get camp going with this shelter that we stayed in last night that Rish was so nice to provide. That was wonderful. I like the beds there. We could do a little
the beds, yeah.
We could do a little reconnaissance on the stairs.
Yes, good idea.
Well, I could help go forward and do recon if anyone wants to tag along with.
Nope. I don't run fast, but I know what to look for.
Can you be sneaky?
I could.
Let me check Fledron's stealth score. I don't remember what I gave him.
+7.
Fledron has +15.
Okay. I got plus
And
15.
I can cast Invisibility Sphere if we both want to go invisible. That would just mean that we have to stay within, I think, 5 feet of each other.
Sounds good to me.
10 feet of each other, so a little bit more than I thought.
Okay.
So if you just stay within 10 feet of me, you'll be perfectly invisible. This is assuming we're not using the Phantom Steeds, and we're going with Cope's plan. Or Emmanuel's.
Emmanuel's. He's very...
Cope didn't come up with this plan. It was all Emmanuel.
It was all Emmanuel. He's the tactician. I know nothing of war.
So I guess that's what we're going to be going with.
Okay.
We're going
So
to
you
ride
get close and then set up camp.
Yep. Do a little
Well, not set up
reconnaissance.
camp. Use this secure shelter thing. That thing's awesome. I love those.
I mean, that's still camp.
Yeah.
Just of a different kind.
It's just a building.
I imagine you find somewhere that's at least away from the beaten path to kind of set up. So
Yeah, Gork would say that we shouldn't use the shelter once we get closer. It'll be too easy to spot. We should sleep in the dark, no fire, no smoke signals, no prototype structures, double watches.
Yeah, disagree.
It
It is a minute per level, but if we come close to the end of that, I can just cast it again. So it's.
It's a good idea. We should at least try to hide as much as we can.
Aye.
If no idea how keen of eyes their sentries are.
Yeah.
If is sentry at top of stairs or bottom of stairs.
And not being taken by surprise by the biggins there would be smart, because unlike me, Emmanuel, you need to take time to put on your shiny metal bits and stuff so that they don't squish you. I can wake up and fight. You need a few minutes.
I sleep in my shiny bits.
Does Gork really even have to wake up?
Sometimes he doesn't, and it's scary.
I prefer to be shiny at all times of the day.
He doesn't have night terrors. He is the night terror.
Yeah.
Real Jekyll and Hyde stuff. Gork just wakes up and he's already in his werebear form.
You said you had the radius version, right? We could all technically fit in that if we're careful. And I do have communal spider climb memorized, so we don't have to go up the stair part of it.
That's what I was saying. Like, invisibility is like a plus 20 to your stealth. Even if you're not really stealthy, you can come along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping you if you don't want to take the stairs and you want to just spider climb up the side of the cliff at the lower points.
I think that would probably be better, but it still wouldn't be bad to know, because if they are guarding the stairs, then that has certain implications about the organization.
I could scout it out with Arcane Eye as well first.
That's a good idea.
Why not? Go ahead. Let's get her look.
Screw it. Leroy Jenkins!
And that is how Emmanuel died.
He showed no mercy for the full 30 seconds before a giant didn't see him and sat on him.
Emmanuel Depardieu.
I'm honestly surprised he lasted 30 seconds.
Well, you see, the giant didn't break his bones. He just kind of smothered Emmanuel until he suffocated beneath all of his jiggly butt cheeks.
Ugh.
It was
Not a
hot.
pleasant way to go.
It was so hot.
That's really how. If he had to go, that's the way he would have preferred.
Autoerotic asphyxiation in a giant ass. That's someone's Google searches.
All right. So, getting us back on track, let's just take a vote. Who wants a spider climb? Who wants to go to the Storeville stairs? I think we should at least look at the Storeville stairs.
I agree. I think we should look at them, but ultimately should spider climb around them.
Arcane Eye.
Yeah,
Right?
Arcane Eye, check it out first.
If you guys want to get a little closer and then have somebody investigate at a distance, like Arcane Eye probably would be a pretty easy way to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, I got 11 minutes of it. Casting time's 10 minutes, but
Yeah, and you can move 300 feet per minute. You can stay well out of the range of the sight of anybody and get a closer look at the stairs if you want. I'm not going to like stress the issue too much, but so yeah. Do you want to do that the next day, or do you want to do it the same day that you're going to make up camp?
I didn't have it prepped the day we set out.
Gotcha. So yeah, the next morning and stuff, you would get closer to the stairs and you would cast the Arcane Eye. And if you want to do that, I will change just Reach to the map that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So you can explore at your leisure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I already see one
Indeed.
at the top of the stairs.
You do see what it looks like without having to roll too much. It is a hill giant.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. 30. Another one up there.
You can move as you like. You have the Arcane Eye and it has its own movement, but we're not really acting in a turn thing right now.
Oh yeah. Plus it's invisible, although it would be interesting if interesting intel to know if they can see it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be intel in itself, yes.
So it's kind of a.
This looks like a built-in building to the stairs itself. If you would like to roll perception as you get up to here, though.
Okay.
As you're looking around and all that. 31. You do see that as you're getting up to here, this seems to be the room that they sleep in and such.
Didn't see the arrow if you pointed at it.
I was on the GM layer. This area over here seems like to be like where a lot of them have slept and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you can kind of tell in by a glint, like over in this corner, there does seem to be like a pile of stuff over here. But with this perception, also you do notice that in addition to the two you see, you do hear voices.
I don't
inside.
Oh
yeah, it doesn't have.
Yeah, I don't think it has sound.
Well, you see voice. I don't know. I'll say you see like a hand reach out and like tap one of them on the shoulder or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sends visual information. So that, and of course, Reach has to be distracted by the shinies.
Carrying over that perception, it's hard to get like exact figure out what's in here, but you do see like a pile of sacks that seem to have coins of some kind in them. You see a statuette, a bit of clothing with like embroidery and gemstones on it. You see a bladed scarf of some type. You see a satchel that has like its top kind of lifted and flapped open with like 7 vials in it, and you see a quiver of arrows kind of leaned up against the wall.
Many potentially useful things. So
in addition, I kind of buried one other thing. You also see a golden crown.
I'll take the crown and the arrows, thank you.
So, anything special about this little room up here?
No, this looks like just like an addition to the setup of it. Most of this you can see like straw bedding. I didn't like add it to it, but
yeah,
it's mostly just a bedding chamber. But they look like they have their own little personal hoard there. In here, you see what amounts to like a pile of just rocks and shit that they use to probably throw at people. Seems like they just keep some reserves of that in tow.
And I guess that's at least 5 of them by my count.
I will save you the look of it, but if you go up to here, you can see another one.
6.
There are 6 hill giants on the top of here. They all are loaded up with a bunch of different like satchels of rocks and like they're like on their sides, as well as a bunch more kind of scattered about. And this seems to be where they kind of set up watch.
Well, if that seems to be the whole area, I'll probably use whatever duration's left looking in the general vicinity for any kind of cave or something for us to camp in. Because it'd be kind of obvious if we camp in, where we kill them. If we kill them.
Going to explore the general surrounding areas. The bottom of the stairs there's a bunch of different like half-ruined buildings that offer some modicum amounts of cover in the general vicinity of the stairs. But other than that, when you start getting farther out, it is like cliff face that kind of goes up about 400 feet in this general area. And on the top of the area, it is very it's rocky, but it's very open area with rolling creviced hills and stuff leading toward the direction. You know that where you're looking to get to is known as the Iron Peaks, that is slightly east of the stairs. That is higher up than the elevation that you're currently at. So it's more of a travel from here to get to where you're trying to find.
So quite a bit to climb. He's appear to be 6 hill giant guarding bottom of stairs. It was. But they have many treasure in one room.
Not worth it then.
I wonder if they have the chest they stole from me.
Could be. Was many bags and with these round pointy hat crown.
Oh. Like, just like this on top of your head?
Yeah.
Could be. Was there a top to it? Was the middle empty?
That's more for Richard to describe.
It's just like a golden crown. There's no cloth red like centerpiece inside of it. It's just
like a circle.
Not quite a tiara, but not like a full like royal English crown.
Sounds like nothing there's worth going if we can go around it for me. Say we scale up the sheer cliffs, go around them, get onto the mountains.
I guess I'm curious about the stuff.
Was all upstairs guards. We could sneak in, take stuff, and leave, having visibility.
I imagine if the stuff disappears, they'd probably catch on that something's going on.
Yes, but they probably think thieves steal and go out south, out bottom.
Oh, they're not in the same. They're not in the same room as.
No, they were all guarding rooms up the staircase.
Oh well, I say if we could sneak into the room and then not have eyes on us, I think we could go for that.
What?
These bed chambers, though, so.
And am I missing anything here with all of you? Like, lives are at stake with a giant fortress and my family up there, and you're wanting to take a risk to go after shiny things?
I'm
magic very expensive.
Oh, and might be helpful in getting items to help said family.
Or we could skip fighting giants, and believe me, I don't mind fighting giants, and just go around.
Here's what we can do. Let's get up. Let's take care of the most pressing problem first and go forward with our mission. And then when we come back, we can double back around and see if they're still there.
These many structures at the base of stairs we could hide in, decide what do.
There are merits to both ways. I get it. Avoid the conflict. That's always wise. But then we've got ogres at our rear. Or what'd you say, giants at our rear? They could come up at any point.
Well, how quickly are they going to be able to know that we've even gotten past?
No idea.
Also, are you thick in the head, he human? We're going to the Iron Peaks. That's all giant country. We're going to be surrounded by giants on all sides at all times.
Right. So it could be a point to take out the ones we can now.
That's literally the exact opposite of the point I was making. It's like you saying you don't like being surrounded by trees, so before you go to a forest, you're going to knock down some little sapling over here.
Well, like I said, I see both points. One, avoid the conflict right now. Or two, go in and get items that might help us. As you said, we need our shiny metal bits to fight better.
After further consideration.
But is it worth the risk?
I think I'm on Gork's side here. Let's focus at the task at hand and get those bears.
I have no problem digging through treasures once we have the time to do so.
Yeah. I gotta say, when you're outnumbered, it's best to avoid conflict and just keep moving towards the ultimate goal.
That is a brilliant idea, Emmanuel.
It's been known to happen.
I punch a tree so hard my fist goes like 2 inches into it. Right! Yes! Good idea!
Out of character. Is it y'all's two characters that have the thing where, or one of you has the flaw that it has to be your idea or somebody else's? It can't be Gork's idea?
No, I don't.
Friendly rivalry or something like that?
Maybe that was an old game we played.
Yeah, friendly rivalry just means that we compete with each other in combat.
You're thinking of the Loki's Halloween game, I think.
I think that was it. And maybe
my character was not allowed to. He had to frame everything as being his idea, I believe.
Yes. The way you said that and did the great idea, Emmanuel, reminded me of that.
So what's the concise plan that you guys are going with? And there was a lot of talk back and forth.
Sounds like they all want to climb up the wall
Yep,
and avoid
spider
it.
climber.
Yeah.
I
Well, I was just wondering because
sorely
there was talks
tempted
about
to-
sneaking in, trying to grab the swag too. So
Oh
I wasn't
yeah,
sure if
I'm
people were going
sorely
with that.
tempted to sneak in anyway. Got invisibility, wall of force. I can teleport if shit gets wonky.
And then 3 rocks hit you in rapid succession, and you die.
Oh,
We
yeah.
lost our smart guy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Rish. Got to get the loot.
Well, that's why
Well,
I'm
on
asking.
that
'Cause if you guys want to do that,
front,
we'll resolve that after, like before or after, depending on how you want to do it. I just want to know before we go forward.
Remember, Rich, it'll probably be there when we're coming back down.
That's a good point, Emmanuel.
Thank you.
It probably will still be here.
On that front, how much did we regain natural healing, or did we top everyone else off?
I would have said while you're camping, you probably healed yourselves up, so you guys would be at full.
Hmm.
You guys have healing available to you without having to use resources because
Yeah,
of like laying hands and all that stuff. So
I was only 20 hit points deep, so it'd be pretty easy.
All right, so for Richard, which way do we want to cross the river? Or where are we right now, relative? Richard, I don't know where we.
Probably like here.
Yeah. So do we want to cross the river and then come up this way and around and cross this river as well?
where you're trying to get to is the Iron Peaks up here.
Yeah, fording the river twice would add a couple days to our journey.
And the area around the Storewell stairs.
Can you just enter through here? I thought we had to go up the steps.
The stairs is the easiest way to get to it because any of this wall here is over 1,000 feet of a straight climb. Even with spider climb, that's still kind of annoying.
Okay, yeah.
Over
So let's
here,
just
it's harder to find a trail and where you're going if you're going straight from the mountains just to climb up. It's actually higher peaks, and you're having to find your way between mountain peaks to get to where you're going.
So this is a
That's why
giant plateau, and the stairs basically are stairs up to the plateau.
So
Could we teleport up there?
Like he saw with Reese would have saw with our arcane eye the general area up there. You could teleport in a general vicinity if you want to do that.
I did not prep it today, but that's a matter of camping.
Wizard, you didn't prep teleport.
Reese is like, oh no, we're going to have to camp, and you all are going to have to go to sleep while my spell slots are full.
A shame if that treasure was to disappear while you all were sleeping.
Well, it looks like we'll just camp out here again. I really want to see Rish go in there and steal everything.
Freaking 2 legs, bunch of big featherless magpies.
So just let me know when you guys decide what you want to do for sure.
Fix
I'm
would
not going to
just
force
be
you, but
Fix will be saying our Gork and say, I'm following your lead on this one.
Considering our whole goal of skipping the Storval stairs was to save time, I think we're not going to wait another day.
So spider climb up? Up the wall, into the mountains.
Let's go for it. Why not?
okay. Now the question is, you're just spider climbing up and then heading toward the Iron Peaks, correct?
I believe so.
Yes.
Communal spider climb. 120 minutes divided between the creatures. That'll be more than enough time. Are you going invisible or are you just climbing the wall?
We could go invisible. I have invisibility sphere.
I think that would be wise.
How long would it take, though, for us to climb up versus the invisibility?
Maximum, we would have 44 minutes.
It wouldn't take that long. I'll say that at most, it'll take your second use of invisibility sphere to get up to the top.
All right, I'll mark off 2 uses.
And yeah, you do get up to the top, and you are able to circumvent the stairs themselves as you make your way towards the Iron Peaks. Unless Reese wants to divert from the party briefly.
Yeah, no. Once they're in, I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself and go off towards the stairs.
Okay, then roll that stealth roll with plus 20 from invisibility.
Like 2 hours later, hey Reese.
Also, while you're doing that, give me a second. My cat just puked, so I have to clean that up.
Actually, I think we can all see each other within the invisibility sphere. So Reese just vanishes. So let me put on the Ocean's 11 theme music. If you don't want to listen.
So 53 once.
Never mind. My cat's just dry heaving. So, hairball time. So that's fun. Okay, is that with the plus 20?
No.
Jesus. Okay, so you go there completely undetected. Since this is early in the morning, there is nobody actually sleeping there, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. You grab all the stuff, and you're able to get out scot-free.
Yeah, and
these are not highly skilled people keeping watch. They are hill giants. They are base hill giants.
With the party, I'm going to use one of my flies that I prepared this day for this plan.
So I will just lay out what you get when you get returned to the party and you spend the better day. Like, you don't get all the way through the Iron Peaks by the end of the day, even without the detour and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be probably at least tomorrow of traveling to try to find where you're going. That will be a roll on everything. But for now, so I will post the loot. Give me 1 second. Go ahead and give me an appraisal, because if you roll high enough, I can just copy paste a lot of this.
26.
I can just copy and paste pretty much everything. And then if you have a knowledge nobility to roll as well.
Didn't put any points in it, but I do have a +6 to it.
We can.
That'll be exactly what you needed. So
okay, I was gonna say we can probably parse through all this stuff later.
I
don't know. Depending on how valuable it is, Rish might not join us.
So yeah, 3,300 gold pieces, a mammoth statuette worth about 700 gold pieces, an eye patch worth about 900, mithril anklet worth 1,000, jeweled crown worth 4,000, a defending bladed scarf, 7 potions of cure moderate wounds, and a potion of remove disease. An efficient quiver containing 16 undead bane arrows and 1 greater monstrous humanoid slaying arrow, which means if they fail their fortitude save, they just automatically take 100 damage for a monstrous humanoid from that arrow. In addition, with the knowledge that you rolled on the crown, you notice that it is in fact a lost crown of what is known as the Palgreaves clan of an old family in Janderhof, or I think that's how they say it. And if you were able to find a dwarf related to them and communicate with them, they would gladly probably pay 10,000 rather than 4,000 for that.
Turns out Gork's the long lost heir.
I was tempted.
He had 10 grand.
Yeah.
I was actually very tempted to do do but I decided not to.
I
the crown, which was lost along with the Duke's child.
I will just tell you, I was going to do that, but then I realized you never go close to Janderhof in this AP, and it just seemed like an unnecessary detour.
Yeah, no, that's very fair. Because I don't know anything about Gork's parentage. I didn't write anything. I don't even have any ideas in my mind. So, figured going blind.
Oh, yeah.
If it comes up, it comes up. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
But yeah, that's what you find in the loot. I imagine I only know of one person who's going to take the efficient quiver. But the rest of it's all you guys to decide what you want to do with.
Depends on
Make sure to carry that quiver with you.
Definitely at least bringing up the quiver when we get back and showing it to Emmanuel when we camp. The rest can stay in the bag until we survive this outing.
Hey, I found this.
And
I noticed you've been gone for the last 6 hours while we were all walking.
actually, you guys might not have even made it to the top in the time it took that to take.
Yeah.
You had to recast, 11 minutes worth of spell?
Yeah. So either way, you guys have no problem. It was barely a detour for Rish. I will tell you, even if they rolled a natural 20, the chances of them finding you are like 0 with a 50-something. Their perceptions were a +6. They're hill giants.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. Where did you find these?
Do we each want to take a push of cure moderate wounds just to have in case?
Also, it is worth pointing out, though, not to be this guy, but I'm pretty sure Rish rolled survival instead of stealth.
Did I?
Oh.
33.
Even with a natural 18,
Let
though.
me see it.
Just look at the number and then apply your
Yeah,
stealth
it's
score.
18, but still, I just
The
Yeah,
dice roll was
stealth
an
would have been
18
one
regardless.
less. 'cause
I
had
just
a
wanted to see if
14
this
in
was a natural one, and it would have been.
Yeah.
I always love the idea of the smart guy character dying in the dumbest way.
That's the great thing about playing online. When you realize you made a mistake like that, you can just go up and you're like, oh, I remember, because I have it right here, I rolled an 18.
Mhm.
And I just
Mhm.
changed the score that I applied to it.
Yeah, the difference between them is 1 point. So
Yeah.
apparently a 52 wouldn't have hurt either. So.
So yeah, you travel for the rest of the day, and you actually are very up into the mountains at this point now.
Mhm.
You're having to climb up and down, up and down. It's one of those things that, like, you're actually kind of glad you don't actually have real horses, because there'd be no way they'd be able to get through these mountainous regions.
I mean, I imagine at some point we just get off on foot, because
Oh yeah, you guys didn't have the horses this day anyway.
yeah, Gork's used to mountain climbing activity. Bears are mountainous as well, so he's not
Well-
having a lot of problems here.
I'm not even sure if I summoned the horses they could really help, because it's not like they have a climb speed.
Yeah.
They still.
They did.
I can check. I'll just put it in the chat and we can read it.
Difficult terrain, but probably not a climb speed. I know they
Yeah.
can fly at the higher level, and they air
I
step
just
maybe at this
Googled
level.
it. At 10th level, they have water walks, so not climb.
Yeah. So the horses probably wouldn't be that helpful here anyways, considering I imagine we're having to climb for a lot of this.
Yeah. But you camp out for the day, as you not quite sure where you're going yet, but the next day I am going to need a survival roll to try to track of where you're going.
On it.
Gork, you got it.
Mm-hmm. I will assist.
+4.
So that
that's,
will be a total of a 41, I think, with the bonus of aid.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. You're able to pick up on tracks pretty quickly, and you're able to follow them without being too close to them. With that good of a roll, you notice that there are some, like, traveling, like, hunting parties of stone giants that have been kind of around the area, and you actually catch sight of some at one point, but you're able to steer wide of them so they don't even catch you. So essentially you could avoid the encounters for the day, because there is going to be some random encounters up in the peaks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually you come to a plateau of the mountains as you cross one in particular. And I will read you the flavor text as you arrive.
Mhm.
Give me a second. As you travel, the mountains here give way to a wide valley perched on the upper edge of a cliff overlooking this Mushkal River. At the western edge of the valley entrance, a lone watchtower stands upon a lone hill. But this structure is overshadowed by the larger one that looms in the valley proper. Here stands a ring-shaped stone wall 50 feet in height that surrounds several buildings, the most impressive of which is a looming black tower with blade-like crenellations that overlooks the river gorge. Within the ring, a 150-foot tall stone spire rises, surrounded by 3 lower buildings apart from the black tower itself. 5 smaller towers that are built within the fortress walls. One of these towers is wider than the others and seems to be the only gateway into the courtyard within. And I will take you to the map area, as you can kind of see the general area, and I have an icon on the top left of what the actual thing looks like.
I like it.
I will enlarge it a little bit for you to see proper.
It didn't move me, so
Very pretty.
probably from being moved earlier.
Yep, there you go.
And this
Yeah.
is giant scaled, right?
Oh yeah, like again, the walls are 50 feet high. There is a 150-foot tall tower in the center, and that one that looks superimposing in the front.
Mhm.
That is like, it looks like it was a separate building that they built this thing around. And then the tower on the left is the one that has like the entrance. The Black Tower itself seems to be standalone, that they have built around it. It looks ancient just beyond belief.
So that one, what with the door looking thing?
No, that is just one of the tower. The door is actually on this one here.
That one there?
Yeah.
With that being obviously the Black Tower.
That is not a gate. No. It's just the decoration of the tower itself.
Though we may or may not owe Stephen King money every time we say the Black Tower.
That's 4 times.
But yeah, if you look at the artist rendition of like an outline of it, you can see that the tower to the left is the one that has the open gate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is the Black Tower that stands like at the forefront, that is much larger than the rest. This is the watchtower here. Where you're coming from, I actually have an icon I'll just use to indicate where you guys are currently. You're over here. Like looking down into the valley itself.
Oh, crap.
If you found a better path, I would have figured where the...
Like, you're traveling through the path of the mountain that looks like people have been hunting through. It's not the direct path. Because I said before, you avoided the direct path because you saw some traveling giants kind of traveling through it, and you were avoiding them, so you went around the mountains and following the river. Because you did know that it was close to the Mushkal River as well when you were questioning that one giant.
It has been a day.
So what's our plan of action?
Before you get into that, I will say a couple other things you do see.
Okay.
The fortress itself, while it does have some sign of life on the inside, one of the things you also notice is on the outside, smoke rises from campfires. You see towering tents, yurts, and temporary stone shelters. There are tribes upon tribes of giants lining the walls here. Just looking at the distance, it's hard to tell because you don't have like a spyglass or anything. But if there was more than 100 giants, you wouldn't be surprised with how many camps there are.
Well, I'd say first order of business is to find some place to huddle up so we can reconnoiter the place. Either through arcane eye or people slipping out with invisibility.
You all could roll perception at this point if you like to kind of get the lay of the land from the higher vantage you have.
Brooks old school, he does it the manual way.
No, Emmanuel's over there.
Caves down there?
On the map, there are. I don't know if we've seen them. And then there's another one up there.
That's partially what the perception's for, to kind of give some examples of what's going on.
227's a 34, 17, and that leaves a fixer, I believe.
Which, unless she gets a natural 20, she's not going to eclipse anybody anyway. But with the 27s and the 34 in general,
she could eclipse my 17. I got a -1 on that.
Nope. There we go.
So looking over, you kind of take stock. You kind of lay low to kind of not attract too much attention. One thing that stands out to you first is as you're waiting and kind of looking over everything, you see a gout of flame erupt from the tower up here in the mountains. As you see what looks like a body of a giant just fling outward into the sky and then plummet directly down to the ground.
The dragon.
Definitely the dragon that you chased off was most likely living there.
Did it just kill a giant?
Maybe.
From where you are here, you can kind of look over the side here. There is a cave here that, as you're watching, you see a group of wyverns emerge from it to what you can only imagine is begin a hunt and just scavenge. And then you do see a second cave here that is filled with what you can only imagine is a spider, as the entire cave entrance is caked with cobwebs to the point where it looks like it's sealed with cobwebs. There, and then there does seem to be a distinct separation of the camps that surround the what they call Jorgenfist. There seems to be 7 camps in all. They kind of consist of different groups outside of the walls proper, in addition to the watchtower that you see giants kind of manning the front on.
This is damn near a giant city.
Yeah. To get more detail than what I gave you now, you'll have to do more extensive surveillance, but that's what you can get at a glance.
Right.
And those 2 big caves, probably not very good shelter. Seem occupied, yes?
I'll take the 200 on the left. Pleasure me to take 200 on the right.
You want to slaughter through whole army?
Just watch it.
I'll take the big one in the middle.
Hey.
That is a joke. You bet your 2 legs.
And I'll
I do
take
know
a
what
nap.
jokes are. We should, before we try to get into the main fortress there, we should take care of that dragon across the way.
I agree.
Finish the job.
That dragon is no good.
Would make good fallback point, too.
I think that's probably where we're going to head first. How do you guys want to get there?
Teleportation.
I would love it if we got like a hard botch, then Richard just described as we appeared in front of a giant who was just on the shitter.
Get him!
He's at his most vulnerable. Attack the weak spot for massive damage. Anyway.
And I've left a slot open to memorize it, but I think takes at least a minute.
I think it takes like 10 minutes to add to your spellbook or something. An open slot, I mean.
Yeah, 10 minutes sounds more right.
What I say we should do is we should get up on one of these mountains here, look down upon it, rest up for the night, watch their movements. It's like a whole nest of termites over there. Big ones, but the concept's the same.
He's not good to rile it up unnecessarily. Yes, let's find shelter for now, yes.
Yeah. Want me to do a survival check to find some concealed shelter there, Richard?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a survival, and that'll dictate how well you can cover yourselves up and everything.
And I guess I'll continue assisting. Yeah, beat a 10. Well, I can beat a 10 with nothing. So.
I'm pretty sure in this case that +7 might be a part of it, but either way, it's a 30. It's pretty high.
Yeah. Yeah, between the lot of you and everything, you're able to find actually what looks like a small cave up in the mountains in this area. It's not big enough to make like a big to do about, but it's just big enough for you guys all to fit in and probably keep it from being noticed too often. For lack of a better term, the chances of you being encountered by a random group has drastically reduced. Because there are roaming, like without having to really tell, there are roaming giants that kind of keep an eye on the area.
Yeah, understandable.
Guess first thing once we've found it is I'll start trying to get teleport memorized. And after that, I'll probably propose using Arcane Eye to at least scout the general area of the dragon cave.
Will the dragon be able to detect it?
Maybe.
I'd keep that spelly thing you do far away from the tower. Whatever big giant yokel that's putting all these together, I'm willing to bet my left claw that it's got some magic of its own.
It's possible.
Okay. So you're casting Arcane Eye, is that what you said?
Yeah, the 10-minute. First 10 minutes is memorizing teleport, second 10 minutes is casting that, and then scouting a bit.
Gotcha. Go ahead and give me another perception. 21.
Not the best.
Nope, but you do learn some more as you're taking time to surveil a little bit more. So first thing that I will kind of let you know is each camp does seem to be separated by type of giant. This one here seems to be a lot of hill giants. The next one to the left seems to be a clan of ogres. The one over here is a group of stone giants that seem to be entirely female. This one here is a group of stone giants as well. Seems to be led by a giant with one eye and has an eye patch on the other. This one here is also stone giant.
So 3 different camps of stone giants.
There's a lot of camps of stone giants, just to let you know. This one here is also stone giants.
4 camps of stone giants.
This one is stone giant as well, but the only thing different between the rest of them is this one seems to be more well established. Like they have actually stone buildings and seem to have been here longer than a lot of the rest.
Group on the far side, definitely been here a while.
Out of curiosity, what do you think are the odds that we could pit some of them against one another? I mean, given the way they're sectioned off, does everybody know if they typically have rival factions?
Yes.
Yes,
they do.
Yes, they do.
It's entirely possible.
I imagine Gork doesn't need to roll for that. No. That would only be a temporary thing. Whatever Biggins got them all under control to unite them this much would break them up pretty quickly.
I do have a couple more perception things to go off of after when you're done, by the way. Just continue on for now.
If nothing else, it could sow a bit of chaos in the moment we break in.
Is depend on how much whatever mischief we can inflict pisses them off compared to how afraid they are of leader. I would imagine.
Even then, again, just a distraction could give us a means to do what needs doing while everybody's looking elsewhere.
So, in addition to the perception you had of the camps, there are a couple other things you notice. Inside the ring of the wall, you see entirely stone giants. There doesn't seem to be anything else that you see in terms of giants. They seem to have bears and mammoths. The oddities that you see is one, over by the Black Tower, at the entrance on the inside, there seems to be a group of 3 harpies that seem to be sitting almost cross-legged and in meditation in front of the tower. As you're kind of taking over a look at that, you kind of turn and glance up at the central spire. And you see that, looking at the spire, white streaks kind of cover the side of the spire and the surrounding ground, almost thick as paint. You see among these streaks is immense bird droppings with splintered elk bones and scraps of hide littering the bottom. And you notice, and the rest of you notice now, as she's looking through the arcane eye, a couple of massive birds just depart to hunt. You see 2 gargantuan-sized rocks that call the top of the central tower their home.
I wonder what they're cooking up there.
I know.
I'll see myself out. It's been nice knowing you guys.
So, there definitely seems to be rocks, bears, mammoths. There's some harpies that seem to be in meditation in front of the tower. And I will say, the way I see it is, when evil is palpable enough, people who are in tune with the divine can feel it. Afixa for sure, but even Emmanuel to a lesser extent. The amount of evil that exudes from this tower in the center, or not the center, on the side, the black tower itself, emanates the amount of evil you have never felt before. In terms of palpable strength of evil, it is by far the most you've encountered. But above all else, you also see that there is a center hole in this in the ring of walls that seems to descend in a slanted pathway that goes deep underground.
One of those holes probably leads to...
Yeah, that cursory investigation of the tower. All that, but our first target was agreed to be the dragon. So not going to investigate
the
hole.
mountain hill up here.
Oh, yeah. So not
This one is spiders, and this one is wyverns.
Yeah, there are wyverns, not dragons in there.
I think Michael and I were just hypothesizing that one of those probably connects to the big hole there.
Yeah, I would guess the wyvern one, considering there are dragons involved.
Yeah.
Might be the spider.
Might be the spider.
Could be both, but you did say you wanted to go after the dragon first.
Yeah,
before we start attacking, can we discuss really quickly what our goals are?
Well, I think we're waiting for Rich
Yeah,
to
we're
finish
still
the conference with the
reconning
dragon
it,
first. Then we'll discuss that.
Okay.
And I will say, because this is a pretty expansive region, you'd be able to see the general area of the cave with the dragon, but after expecting everything else, it's pretty dark in the cave, and the best you can tell is there is a dragon inside, but you're not sure what the details of it are. You have enough to go off of to try to make that teleport attempt to get up there easily enough.
Yeah, well, I never ended up going with the permanent dark vision, so yeah, no. Guess I'll investigate, or try and use the last few minutes of it to examine an area off to the side that, would be easy enough to get in, but all that blah, 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 blah.
Yes. Yada, yada. Got it. But yeah, that is all you can see with the 21. There was probably more, but as far as you know, that's what you can tell. You don't have the exact numbers of the giants in each camp, but you know there is quite a substantial amount.
So, we still want to go after the dragon first, or?
Well, before
dragon
we start,
seems the easiest target so far.
Before we start making moves, could we discuss, just to bring me on track with the rest of you, what are our ultimate goals here? Just to kill Murian, or
kill the one in that tower, and she points to
Find
where the potent evil is coming from.
Kill
Find
Miriam.
out what they're doing,
and
at
Gorg's
least.
family?
And
Probably
send all
kill.
these big old stompers are running.
Yes, find out what he is after, or who is pulling his strings. Then probably yes, kill. You two did not seem to like Tower, so guessing yes, definitely kill.
All right. So we don't have to fully exterminate all of these giants.
No, I wasn't planning on going on a genocide campaign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
He's
making
quite
sure
the
we're all
few.
on the same page. I mean, of course, if we have to kill them, we'll kill what we have to, but
We need to
we're not
disperse.
trying to fight 400 or 600 giants or whatever there are.
Would probably solve long-term problems, but in short term is 5 of us and yes of them.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
If we
Could
scat-
always strike at night, whittle their numbers down, but it would take a long time.
We want to
we-
more or less dismantle their operation here. We don't want to
Did you-
the last man.
Did you describe what these were?
Yeah, he said one had wyverns, one had spiders.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one down below seems to have wyverns that reside in it.
Okay.
This one seems
Technically,
to
we
have
don't know
a
there are
spider.
spiders in one. It's just filled with webs.
Yeah, the
Could be
It's
silkworms.
easy to tell that there's probably some kind of spiders in there because the entire entrance to it, like it's hard to even tell that there's actually an entrance there, but it is just caked in spider web. So it's safe to assume that there are some kind of spiders in there.
All right.
Is there any way to provoke the giants against one another, or should we work on that after we focus down the dragon?
Dragon should be the first one.
Yeah.
Any trouble starts happening in that fortress, that scaly beastie's gonna come howling down that mountainside. And if that's not enough motivation for you, it's a dragon, so I'm sure it's got plenty of shinies for you hairless magpies.
Look, as far as we know, there are two things here that can fly. We have harpies and dragons. If
And
the
rocks.
if the dragon
And
is
wyverns.
notified, huh?
And rocks and wyverns.
Mm,
No, the wyverns attack giants afield. They may just be naturally dwelling.
I have scroll, but would prefer memorize. Depend on if we want to wait another day.
But we're not going tonight.
But the point that I was trying to make was if we attack other people first, and then the dragon is notified, he can sweep this entire hillside trying to find us. If we attack the dragon first and kill it, and the others are notified, they are actually going to have to search. We have the advantage here as far as hiding. We're hitting a mountainside, basically.
Though, given what we saw with Giant getting blown out of cave, might not be friendly anymore.
What if we pitted the dragon against the giants before we kill it?
Well, that's all to be discussed. I'm not against talking to the dragon.
I look at the fortress. It's a shame. With the size of that thing, it's a shame that we couldn't be the size of a field mouse. Slip right in there, no problem.
Yes,
I'd say we should probably go with the route of intimidate for the dragon, though, considering how bad we fucked him up in one round the last time.
Yeah.
He
he's
may not be
always
able to see. He may just be
send-
attacking anyone who comes in. That's why he killed that giant.
Reach can teleport us to its doorstep, and
He's always going same way we went up wall. You Pledrum use the sphere of invisibility, and we sneak in that way.
yeah,
But-
I can do that. Is that what we want to do?
How many times, Rish, can you take us back and forth in one day?
I just have the one cast today. Could cast maybe 3-5 times, but would take up all high level power.
I'm just
Yeah.
thinking, the day we go in to attack this dragon, we need to be able to teleport back out as well, because we're not going to want to leave the
Yeah,
dragon.
I can
cave and come
prepare
back.
my spells so we can sneak in, and then Reach can prepare his spell to get us out fast. How about that? That way, we're distributing spells amongst multiple character spell slots, and we're not filling up mine or Reach's with.
So you're suggesting we cross all of this giant infested land in a sphere of invisibility?
Yes.
No, I suggest go through gate that way. Yes. Maybe could also teleport to small corner, but would take more setup.
Wait. Gork's 8 intelligence is working overtime right now. You said there was bears inside the fort, right?
Yes.
That's what we
Were
said.
there any bears outside the fort? Going in or out?
Did not see any, but did not examine the fort that thoroughly.
Out of curiosity, do we want to try to somehow stage a jailbreak? Again, try to do the distraction to pull people away from one gate. And while that's going on, we
There
go in
was
and free.
just the one gate.
There's
wasn't
just the one gate.
It
Yeah.
grinds my gear. It grinds my teeth. But if one of you can complement this idea, I may have a way to get us through the gate of the fort when the time comes.
it?
It's unlikely that they'll be able to tell me apart from one of their bears. Most two-legs think all bears look the same.
Y'all do look the same.
I've fully punched Emmanuel on the nose.
No, son of a bitch. I meant that in a positive way.
Bear at Sandpoint had a collar on, made easily controllable.
Do those have collars on? You get a lock?
Sorry, I was just having to talk to family. I'm back now.
No problem. Well, it was just a thought. I don't like it, but they open doors.
It is a good idea. We need it.
Might scout again tomorrow, but did not see any going in around. So would probably be weird if one goes in on own.
I will say something like that's going to require more like long-term surveillance. Like this isn't probably going to be something that happens overnight for you guys to figure out the whole keep. It's one of those things that's probably going to take several days at the very least to figure out everything.
We do have the opportunity with the invisibility to potentially sneak someone in at the right time, and that could be Gork in bear form, and then leave him there, and Pledrum could come back out still invisible if that's the route we need to go.
I had a character question because I mentioned Gork's keep track of this, and I don't know if you've determined it or not, Richard. How close are we to the full moon?
I haven't. I was going to calculate it afterwards, but if we want to just do a roll thing, we can determine that now.
Well, it's not like it's going to affect gameplay. I'm just doing a role play thing because I know they do unkind things to bears to make them be more compliant. And if Gork is close to the full moon, his temperament is going to be, you do one thing to me and I'm going full murder.
So I just rolled 3d8 to determine how many days. It's 9 days before the full moon.
Yeah.
So the temper's getting higher now, but it's not like
and this is something Gork is very aware about himself. So he's like, and that would have to be in the shorter term. As we get closer to the 3 nights of the full moon, I'm going to be less subtle when provoked.
Will be more powerful as well, or just more direct.
Angry.
So like a woman?
I throw him down the mountain.
Son of a bitch!
Just cue the fucking Kirby gif of him being thrown down a ravine.
It was either going to be that or, Fix was going to do the, backhand punch, but to his groin, because that's about the height proportion there.
Manuel's sitting over in the corner nursing his wounds in his smart-ass mouth now.
As the whole more powerful the full moon thing, hey, that depends on what I decide to do with multiclassing. I mean, unless Richard wants to do a gimme, but I don't think we're going to do that.
We could always talk after the session and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
So for tomorrow, no reason not to just go ahead and visit the dragon. We teleport in, invisibility spear, see if he'll talk to us, see if he'll attack the dragons.
Then Merc that Stanley fucker.
And if not, we kill him. Right?
Yep.
We teleport back out. So you definitely please have 2 teleports.
Pull his head off the shoulders. I imagine the she lizard here crawls up and falls asleep on top of his pile of treasure.
If we do it well enough, they won't know that he's dead, and we might be able to just have 2 bases of, I don't know.
It's actually a halfway decent idea. I should probably scout around these mountains, find a couple extra caves just in case we need to hide somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. The ability for Rish to get us... Can you teleport Rish out of character? Can you take all of us, including Juan?
I believe so, if I upcast. Yeah, because we got out the swamp, but we had to leave the dwarf. Or the newly dwarfed.
Oh, yeah, that other dude.
Yeah, so it's just enough if I upcast, if I remember right.
And if it's all spells, if you turn Juan into a figurine, that would nullify it for certain.
Yeah, that'd just take 2 rounds. I'm thinking if we need to quickly evacuate, he can get us all out. But
no, leave Juan to die. Richard will probably be happy.
Well, I can just resurrect him.
No, I'm just sitting here with a grin on my face for no reason.
let Richard have some fun too.
Trying to pick out what I'm gonna actually memorize for the next day, assuming nothing happens overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, you guys are waiting until the next day.
Yep. I mean, I can
Seems
make
like
I can make some flower tea if we want to have a 6-hour rest instead of an 8-hour rest.
Your tea is actually really good.
Of course it is. My Black Claw showed me how to make it.
Seems like they really want to be able to teleport back here if stuff goes sideways instead of them dying.
I just wanted to wait for a final answer because I know a lot of it was brainstorming and stuff. But
I think
the plan is to wait until the next day.
Wait until the next day, teleport over to Dragon Cave, do something to the dragon, probably just going to kill it, and then step B, step C, profit.
Gotcha. Okay, so you all set up camp for the rest, and are you doing the tea where you only have to sleep 6 hours?
I mean, if people want me to, it's like no effort on my part.
Absolutely.
All right.
It's nice to have the pleasantries of home.
Yeah, I suppose there's no reason not to.
Yep.
So you all camp out, and this is going to get to the point where I'm going to need to know. I want you guys to set up a watch order, because in this area there are chances of encounters and such. It's significantly less because you found a place to hide out, but it's one of those things I'm going to need to know.
I say, Gork would say we should do double watches.
2 people, 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If we're only sleeping 6, so.
And purely out of character, let us not put Aphixa and Pledrum on the same watch.
Man, I was hoping for that.
Aphixa and Emmanuel?
I mean, I guess I could take first with Aphixa.
Works for me.
One person's going to be by themselves.
Girls' night.
Yeah, Gork and Pledrum, Rish and Aphixa, Emmanuel and Juan.
I knew you were going to say that. Okay, so what's the order? Like, who's going first?
I think Rish and Aphixa, since they're spellcasters, Gork and Pledrum. Well, Pledrum's a spellcaster too. That's
I'm
up
the
to
only non-spellcaster, FYI.
Yeah, maybe you and
I mean, long term, if you're doing watches, it's not going to matter. By the end of all the watches, you guys are going to have your spells back.
Okay. I know how you ran
it's
it.
just for bookkeeping on my part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the same thing I did with a camping handout in the other game.
Well, that sounds
I think
fun.
if they're going to jump us, it's going to be a lot less likely to happen. I mean, what's Juan and Emmanuel's perception score?
Manuel's really high, and Juan has sent. Emmanuel is like plus 20. Yeah, he's got a plus 20 perception. So he's not bad to lead by himself with Juan, because Juan has only plus 5.
Okay. Maybe have Emmanuel and Juan do the first watch.
Okay.
And then we can have...
Does that mean I have to clean the dishes? Although, I guess I can't really put up my tent. This is terrible. I say we take one of those towers tomorrow. If we could storm one of these towers and make that our base of operations.
Yes, let's make our base of operations in the middle
The
of
tower that has a wall that walks between them all. Yes.
I miss the bed. Can we have the fortress again, the little cabin?
Gork says what he said probably multiple times since he met Emmanuel. How are you not dead yet?
I guess it depends on how big the cave we found is.
The cave would not be able
have
to
it.
the cabin.
Yeah, no.
Yes,
The funniest sight that would be. No, I did say clearly that this is a very small cave, just enough to kind of obscure yourselves from direct vision.
Yep.
Well, then I'm going where I can't smell you.
So is that the watch order, Emmanuel, then Risha Fixa, Gork Pledrum at the end?
Yep.
Unless anyone has any objections.
Gotcha. So as you all camp out for the night, it's not exactly the most peaceful night because you can hear all the giants in the valley below you. It is not a quiet bunch. So there's just that constant like droning in the background, but you're able to get some sleep. Though Gork and Pledrum, on your watch, you do hear something. Gork, you speak giant at least. Does Pledrum?
Let me check. I don't think he does, but I could always cast tongues, but maybe it's not worth it. I'll just check.
For now, Gork will be the one that hears it. Gork, as you're kind of keeping watch, you hear in the distance, closer than the valley itself, you hear somebody speak up like, "I see humanoid tracks. We might have some vermin running around." And like yell some commands at some other people that you don't see because you don't see this person. Like, just tell them to fan the area and look for any signs of life.
Pledrum does not. He speaks common and undercommon.
Yeah, Gork would say, "We've been made. They found our tracks."
Yeah, you did clearly never say that you were hiding your tracks yesterday.
Yeah,
I was waiting for someone to say that.
In my defense, bears don't do that very much.
Yeah,
also,
that's fine.
I forgot.
Hey, that's fine. I forget too, but
yeah.
But you do have some time before they find you if you wish to do anything like awake your people, try to hide better, or however you want to do it.
Yeah, let's quietly wake everyone else up and huddle around in invisibilities.
Yeah, I wake them up the most terrifying way possible, where I just like fully put my hands over their mouth until the oxygen wakes up. Quiet! They're looking for us outside.
Gotta move.
Can't breathe.
I'll just use your ears, and I take my hand off your mouth.
Dying. Invisibility sounds good. We should get over here near me so I don't have to get out of my bedroll.
You should
get invisible and move to a very different location than the one they're quickly going to find us in.
Yeah, that's what I want.
And cover our tracks. So I'm going to cast Invisibility Sphere, and we're going to get on the move.
Mm-hmm. When Emmanuel's showing any reticence to getting up, I pop one of my shifter's claws, and I just take one bear claw, and I just slice the bedroll down the middle so it's destroyed.
Son of a bitch! That was down.
I slap him.
Stuff. Okay, fine.
Okay.
They're looking to kill and eat us.
Are we just leaving this stuff?
Yeah, you did make a fair bit of a mess with that. If it's full down. But yeah, it's invisibility and.
Well, traditionally a bedroll isn't like a sleeping bag. It's a pad that you lay on.
Yours isn't.
Yeah, I
this is Emmanuel.
So the plan is to
rich parents so that I could spend 800 gold pieces on just fancy clothes.
This pillow was full of Malthunian dove feathers.
Don't you know that bird is extinct because they made the sleeping bag?
They killed the last one to make the sleeping bag.
So the plan is the invisibility sphere and then leave the cave to find somewhere else to hide.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So
I can see my tracks this time.
A couple of things are going to happen. So as you leave the cave under this guise of invisibility, you immediately jump out and start making your way away. But as soon as you step out, I'm going to make an attack because one of them does see you. And let's see, there's 6 targets. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to roll 1d6.
With invisible. You said put invisibility sphere on?
Yeah, with invisible.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yeah,
he would also be stealthing, but I don't know where. I guess he's close enough to hit us.
They're close enough. They've been tracking your. They didn't. The reason you were able to hear them clearly is because they were close enough to the cave where you could hear them.
Yeah.
And
so the attack is going to come to Gork, and it's going to be flat-footed.
Okay, that's not too bad. My flat-footed's barely different.
23.
I see what you did there.
With my defensive training for giants kick in for this?
That's a dodge thing, isn't it? Because that would be denied if you were flat-footed.
Let me see. Yes, just have reaches. I'll check the defensive training.
Because I think the defensive training was like an evasion-based thing, so I think that doesn't count.
Let me see. Yeah, dodge bonus. Yeah, so then that will just barely hit.
So I will change you guys' map real quick, as you are all face to face, and she does seem to see you all, even though you're invisible.
She is a very large woman.
So as you all kind of like turn to this giant bow being shot towards you, and it doesn't impale Gork because the size of this arrow is like a spear, but it like wings across you, and it cuts across you like cheek and shoulder before it like impales on the ground with a large splash of stone.
You see the wound that it does needs to back together a little bit because it's not silver. So I reduced it by 5.
Are these hill giants, stone giants, or...
I was getting to that.
A little bit.
So you notice as you turn to the shot that was fired upon you, you see a giant that is reminiscent of a stone giant, but there is something different about her. Standing much bigger than you've ever seen a stone giant. She's pushing over 20 feet tall. She has this massive bow, and then she has, if you know what a tetsubo is, it's like a giant club with like metal rivets along the length of it.
Yeah.
Like she has it slung on her back, as well as these two, what you think are hill giants. It's kind of hard to tell. They look like hill giants, but they look different. They have glowing runes all across their body. They have great clubs, and they're wearing just the bare minimum of clothing, like a simple cloth, not cloth, like fur loincloth and like coat. But their eyes seem devoid of life. Not like they're dead, but just like there's nothing home in there. And they're like, and the one in the center is like, well, a lot of you picked a bad day to be here. I suggest you lay down your lives now, so the death will be quick.
Why is it a bad day?
I do not wish to torture you, but if you make me work for it, I'm not in a good, pleasant mood.
Oh, is this in...
This is in common.
Okay.
Really quickly. So they're giving us a chance to talk then.
Yes. Well, she is. The other ones don't seem to see you.
The current offer stands.
You can roll
surrender and die.
Yeah, it's surrender and die, just to make it quick and painless.
Let's let the bard do this.
You can roll a knowledge local on her if you wish, as well as and a knowledge arcana on the other two if you wish.
I've got neither.
This archetype for bard doesn't have the knowledges, so...
Wow.
Yeah.
Rolled a 2.
So the knowledge local, you're not really able to find out too much.
Tap a hero point.
Yeah. Session's almost over.
So I'll get with the local first. You don't know too much about her other than the fact that she is a taiga giant.
I will dispel the invisibility to reveal ourselves. And then I'll say...
Speaking of, we should probably closer to Pledrum.
Yeah, Pledrum would probably be more in the middle, so...
Yeah.
Probably like that. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, so everyone's invisible.
Myself.
Yeah. Before you get onto what you were saying, Pledrum, I'm also going to say the giants themselves are definitely hill giants, the other ones. But they seem to have some kind of arcane enchantment on them that has dulled their senses while enhancing their physical abilities. That's as much as you know. But
that can happen?
And Pledrum will say, listen, I'm sure that we can talk out whatever this is. I wish for nothing more than peace between the giants and the other races.
When you say that, she kind of just does a small chuckle. It's like, you do know where you are, right? I imagine you didn't stumble upon our camp on accident.
You do know the condition that dragon you sent to Sandpoint came back in, right?
Oh yes, the little.
I'm gonna do an intimidate.
She like just sounds like, oh yes, the whelpling.
How many stone giants did you send, and how many came back? But not a gold piece to show for it. And then let me roll
intimidate.
24. That was a 3. I'm gonna go ahead and re-roll. 36.
Part of me wishes I had gotten the feat throw anything, because it would be metal as hell to pick up this giant-sized arrow and chuck it back at her.
Throw me.
So when you broach that, she does seem a little shaken by that. To the effect that for at least the first few rounds of combat, when we get into it, because this is going to probably wind up being in the combat, I will say for the first 2 rounds that she'll be demoralized.
All right.
But when you say that, she's like, well, seems I'm not getting paid enough for this, but it doesn't seem like you're wanting to lay down your lives quickly, so...
I don't know if she has anything, but I was actually trying to influence an opponent's attitude, not demoralize.
Okay.
Which is on the intimidate page.
Yeah, you can temporarily make them more friendly to you. Which is just a weird way of saying they go, maybe finding an alternative to violence at this moment.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I was thinking of it the wrong way.
Yeah.
When you say that, and she kind of taken aback by it, she looks at the other two and their simple kind of minded face, like, one way or another, I am going to inform my superiors that you're here. Now, if you wish to retreat and take your business elsewhere, let's just say I can look the other way.
Retreat is good.
She does seem a little taken aback by the whole situation, but she does seem to be putting her foot down that you're not just going to stay where you are, and she is going to let people know that you're here or you were here. And depending on what she informs them of, there's a good chance that the keep might be on more alert. And you're aware at least at this point now that at least she, if not other people, can see your invisibility.
Yeah. At this point, Gork is like visibly twitching, trying to keep it under control right now.
And she doesn't seem like she's like pure evil.
Yeah.
It looks like she actually seems to be acting like this is her job. She's going to do her job, but she doesn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to, but you are enemies, and she is a guard.
Yeah.
As this is going on, could Afixa do a detective ladder just to...
Yeah,
verify?
she does not detect as evil.
Okay.
The other two, however, very much do.
Gork is just going to say, through clenched teeth, walk away. Don't have to go back to the fort. Don't have to stay here. You can just walk away and go back to wherever you called home. And if you want to, I can do an intimidate on top of that.
Yeah, let's see it. I want to see
Go
how.
ahead, roll intimidate.
32.
Hey.
So,
and for like dramatic effect, I'm gonna say like I'm got like my hand on that arrow that clipped me, and my claws are reflexively extending, so it's doing that thing that you see in movies sometimes where like the claws are coming out and it's like pushing up the wood.
yeah. She's definitely taken aback. Like her grip on her bow slacks a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But she seems to be very steeled in terms of like she is a guard first.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't seem to be leaving. She's like, I gave you the option. You can leave, and I will go back and inform my superiors, but we do not have to fight here. But if you push the issue, I have a job to do.
What influence or what fuels your loyalty?
She kind of like nods her head back towards where the Jorgenfist is. She's like, have you not seen the fact that the leader has seemingly amassed? Well, it was already impressive that he amassed the amount of stone giant tribes he has, but he also has hill giants, ogres, and he's even in talks with some frost giants about allying with. The writing is on the wall. We either side with him or we are left in the dust, and my tribe, for one, does not wish to completely rule out the chance that we might be able to work with him in the future.
Let us help you. You shouldn't have to be subservient to some dictator.
Why do you have to tell? We could just part ways. This moment never happened. 30 minutes just never happened.
And then Pledrum will step up. He'll go, we're not bad people.
She just kind of shakes her head. She's like, bad people, good people, evil people, I do not care. I have a job. And you see her eyes kind of darting between the two giants beside her. And I am enforced to keep my job on the level. I can let you part ways under the guise of I think you are too much of a problem to deal with myself. But one way or another, this information is getting back to those in charge.
Pledrum will take another 5-foot step forward and he'll go, I don't think you'll...
She kind of pulls out her Tetsubo as you approach.
Is there
And keep in mind, Pledrum appears completely unarmed. On his back,
but
he has
she is a war-trained scout. She's not...
And he'll go, Pledrum will go, and I don't think that you're a bad person. And I'll make a diplomacy check.
Can I, Gork's got a high wisdom, so a thought occurred to me. I want to do a skill roll to explore a hunch here that she is under surveillance from these two giants, like someone can see through their senses.
That's what Fix is believing.
If you want to roll a sense motive.
Yeah, I wish this was a class skill. I only have my wisdom bonus to it, unfortunately. But
you could do a +8 with.
That's what I'm going to do.
Fix it. You can also roll since you have the same hunch.
I'll add +8 to mine as well.
That'll be a 23.
That'll be a 25.
So yeah, it definitely seems like she's a little wary of trying to talk having you talk her down with the presence of these other two that are here.
We leave, yes.
I imagine Fix looks at Gork and they kind of have that knowing look and
I put a clawed hand on your shoulder and then I elbow Emmanuel dangerously close to his groin to get his attention. And I would do like a silent hand gesture since you know, to your bow and then to the hill giants on the sides.
And Fix would try to catch Rish's gaze with bonded mind, because Rish, you do have bonded mind, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And would kind of give the hint that those two wingmen are the ones preventing her from cooperating with us.
How far could I throw a Fixa? Because it's feeling like to me, this is out of character, Pledrum is unknowingly running distraction with all of his genuinely awesome diplomacy. So if we could prepare
and that is definitely held back combat for sure.
Yeah, if we can prepare action, Emmanuel firing a volley at one, Rish spelling another one, and then I just full on chuck a Fixa at one of them, so she can get closer
I will
to
say
melee range.
a Fixa's small, but I'd probably say you could probably throw her 20 feet.
That's fair. That's enough.
Like
so,
shot
you could probably get her over to here.
Mm-hmm.
Not all the way over there or anything, but you can get her close.
That still closes the gap, so we can take them out faster.
Yeah, and with the sense motives you rolled, as long as they're here, she's probably still going to fight you. So you have to be aware of that as well.
Fixes, definitely make a mental note. Non-lethal damage on her.
Mm-hmm.
Manuel's ready to go.
I subtly, as much as I can, with my lycanthropy starting to boil to the surface, take a half step behind a Fixa and grab her belt from the back, because I'm going to have to underhand toss her.
So go ahead and roll them initiatives.
I have basically no offensive spells memorized for today because of all the other stuff we needed.
Well, cantrip them if nothing else. And we're going to probably get a surprise round, I imagine.
Yeah, you'll get a surprise round.
Yeah,
but I figured it makes sense to roll this now.
Yeah, not trying to undercut your diplomacy there, Michael.
No, I will say, the diplomacy has very well worked towards your advantage with her.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't outright attack you after she launched her initial shot. And she does seem like she's more adverse to the fight, but she has stakes in it. Okay, I believe that's everyone going into descending order. Fixa, this is a surprise round. I assume you're waiting for Gork to throw you.
Yeah, so can I hold my action to charge? Because I know you could charge.
You can charge and use a single movement during a surprise action. So, you can hold that, and Gork can throw you to here.
Do I get a swift action too?
I will say no.
Okay.
It's a move or a standard.
Okay. So
yeah, either one of those spaces
maybe,
will be fine.
Yeah, maybe right here instead. That's still 20 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, gets.
And then it's another 20 feet to get to him.
Yep.
You can do that on a charge.
Oh yeah. Well, that I have 30 move speed now. So move in, and then
how I imagine that going down is that I don't grab your belt and your collar and underhand throw you. I actually just grab and then spin around and throw you like a shock put, and then you tuck it to a ball, and then you just stick at your feet and you land running.
Yep. And then Blake at the side and low, and just kind of dives down and slices basically from stem to stern, and trying to get that upper cutting sort of blade attack.
Go for it. Damn.
Nice.
That doesn't confirm, but that hits.
Flat-footed?
Flat-footed?
Let me double check. Yeah, that actually is a point. Flat-footed is 21. It has no dex.
Actually, can I tap my last hero point to reroll that quick confirm?
Or add 4.
Whichever one you prefer.
I'll reroll it, because...
Fuck.
Should have gone the +4.
I will tell you the +4 would have worked.
Sorry, I forgot. I rushed into that. I forgot +4.
Yeah, no, you made the decision. So.
Yep, nope, I made the decision.
I mean, at least you still have.
Yeah.
Aww.
17 points of damage. Okay, he takes that. Gork, that was your surprise action to do that.
Yep.
So
now it's Emmanuel.
Yep. I will say it doesn't really matter for her, but she is no longer flat-footed because her turn would have come up during the surprise round of you guys doing this. So if you attack her, she's not flat-footed anymore. But the other two still are. But as Emmanuel, you get a single movement or a standard.
All right. Single shot with the bane arrow.
Which one are you targeting?
That fellow next to Fixa.
Gotcha. That'll hit for 34 or 32.
Yep. And can he tell Juan to move?
Yeah, that's fine. He'll get a single movement or an action.
Yeah, probably not enough to get into combat, but it'll close the gap.
I mean, he has a good amount of movement.
He's going to burrow to right there.
Gotcha.
So he might spring out and surprise him or something.
I will say this is really rocky terrain. He's not going to be able to get deep enough to be completely obscured from this guy.
I'm imagining tremors at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you just
the guy
on
can
the surface.
see Juan digging towards him, so just keep that in mind.
Okay.
This isn't this is mostly rock, and burrow is usually a dirt thing.
Would it provoke right there?
He's flat-footed, so it wouldn't provoke to get there.
Yeah, still
I'm just saying
round.
he might have a +2 to his AC because he's partially obscured, but he's not blocked from vision from them. Just keep that in mind.
So, of these ridges, is this the actual terrain?
Or? Yes. I just say you were this little hole is what I use to mark your cave.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're in between a bunch of different rocky mountainous areas.
So would this be enough to get cover from her? Or,
cover from her, yeah, and from them being to direct see you, yeah.
So I'm gonna duck behind the ridge, pull out the crossbow, and I can probably only hit the one if Fixa attacked.
Yeah. You don't have precise shot, right?
Nope.
That'll still hit, though. Sinks into his meaty flesh. And then, well, you had to move to get there, so I don't think you'd be able to take your action.
Can you 5-foot step during a surprise round or no?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Wait, was that a 5 foot? I thought that was more than that.
I guess it won't.
No,
it's right about there.
Yeah.
Oh, if that was a 5 foot, then yeah, that'll be fine. Sorry, I thought that was more than 5 foot. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, Pledrum, you have a surprise action.
I'll start Inspire Courage.
Gotcha.
And let's see. I don't want to Charm Person Honored. One, because I think.
Well, you only had to do one thing because it's a surprise round.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And it's a move action to start it, so you're right. Yeah, I just play my little song.
Gotcha. As the turn begins proper, you see these rune giants. You see one of them focusing on Wand that's partially obscured from the dirt, and one on Afixa. You see what like their eyes that are kind of clouded from like, for lack of a term, stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
You see their senses almost dull a little bit more as the runes on their body begin to glow, and they begin to move very fast, as if affected by haste.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to get full attacks against both of you. That's against Juan. I believe those are all pretty terrible rolls, so I think those all miss. And then the other one, these would also be, I forgot to include the +1s, but I still think that doesn't matter.
Yeah, his is a 27 right now.
Yep. And this one will be against Afixa.
Miss.
Yep.
Thankfully, too, man, that is a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
These things hit hard.
Yeah, that would drop me and kill me. Shit. If they all three landed.
They are giants.
Yep.
But it is your turn now. As you see this guy, you're dodging and like weaving between these blows, but each blow is just like crushing the ground beneath you, and like sending like debris everywhere.
Fix is going to go ahead and throw a smite on him and say, "You're done," and then full attack.
Confirms and 35 confirms. Jeez, when you want to crit, you really crit, don't you?
Right?
Oh, but you crit on a 15, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but then there's times where she doesn't get crit at all.
Yeah.
But he is dead.
I mean, like, Manfred back in the day had a keen rapier as well that crit on 15. It just never happened.
Would there have been enough action economy left to 5-foot step and deliver?
No, the shield is what finished him off.
Okay.
Could still take
Gork.
5 foot though.
Yeah, you can still 5 foot, but it won't be
I'll still 5 foot, and that'll be my full turn.
As per my description, I imagine my shifter claws are already out
Mm-hmm.
because that was a whole discussion swift action
That's
thing.
fine.
So I'll swift action minor bearer aspect, so I just get some temporary hit points. I'll just mark that down real quick. I got a lot of those. Yep. Okay. And then you can charge double your speed.
Yes.
I can't charge through Pledrum. Can I do that to charge the hill giant?
Yeah, that'll be fine. He will get an AOO on you.
That's fine. My AC will be not 8 higher. It will be 6 higher.
Okay. I'm gonna just roll the full attack and use the first one because the other attack I have macroed for him is a vital strike.
Yeah.
So it would have been a 20, so 21, but yeah, miss.
Plus, she'd probably get one too.
Yeah, she would actually. That is true. Yeah, she's going to swing her Tetsubo at you for 33 to hit.
Let's see. Yeah, that will hit.
As it does 39 points of damage as you're like running by. She manages to clip you in the back. That almost kind of propels you towards the other giant.
Since he's next to Juan, Juan's going to use an immediate action to use his. Sorry, this can soak some damage.
Mm-hmm. And then once you're done, I got a thing I was going to do before my attack technically triggers. Because I already lowered the damage I took by 5 because my DR silver as well.
Never mind. He can't do it.
Okay, well, since I did take damage, I'm going to expend an immediate action, which means I don't get a swift action next turn, to assume Blood Frenzy style, boosting my strength as I let the beast off the hinges. So this is going to be a Shifter Claw, and this is not including your +2 for charge.
Gotcha.
32.
That'll hit.
19 damage.
19. There we go.
Okay.
Okay. She seems to think the Fixa is the biggest threat.
Yeah, she did already kill one.
As she turns to you, and she pulls her Tetsuo to the side, I pray for Minderhall that your death be swift, as she swings at you for a full attack. That's a potential crit. And I will tell you that she's a ×4 crit.
Yeah, it's a natural 20, but...
Did the 36 hit?
I think the 36 hit as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Loki's not saying anything.
Loki's
Sorry, I was muted. No, the 36 will hit.
The 30 will hit because it's a natural 20, but we'll see if it confirms.
And I also do have light fortification up, so there's a 25% chance that it would negate that.
Well, let's see if it crits first, and then we'll adjust that. So I'm just going to roll the full thing again. We'll go with the third attack, of course.
Yep.
25 would not confirm, I imagine.
Nope, that's not. Yeah.
So that does still do 72 points of damage, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, for sure.
Paladin could have fallen for a second time.
Right.
And there's no one to revive you.
Yeah, that ×4 crit is no joke.
Yeah, she's ×4 with a 19 to 20 crit range, by the way.
Then you get to become this Taiga giant as your temporary cleric character.
Right.
There actually are some things I could use to have you guys come back, not as giants per se, but things that would work in this scenario. But let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But that is her turn. It is now Emmanuel. As you just see, I picture it actually just upper swings, affix it into the air, and then smacks her down with that other one. Because that's some sizable damage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because one more attack like that, you're on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
That's ugly. 1 full attack.
Yep, take out that last giant.
Oh.
Miss, hit, and let me see. I think that'll still grab. Yeah, that'll grab.
All right, and then Emmanuel with Bane Arrow is going to move up here to get himself in point blank range.
By the way, rewinding a little bit while you go ahead and calculate that stuff, I was going to say, I need you to roll me two fortitude saves for Gork. Wait, no, he's not the one that hit, so never mind. Forget that. I said anything. It was Cindermaw that hit you.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's special features that I forgot to take into account.
No worries.
Wand connected if you need him to do something.
No, this is in addition to if they hit you.
All right. Swift action. Manuel's going to put up his aspects. Bane Arrow. Blood for the Empire. Bardic buff is up.
Yep.
All right. It's about as good as he gets. And deadly aim. And he is going to.
That'll hit.
And he is going to give combat advice and covering fire to Gork. And Juan gets covering fire as well. So they've got +2 to their ACs. And Gork gets a +2 on his next attack.
Gotcha. Reesh.
I want to tip my hand to whoever's in the tower, possibly looking through their eyes, that they have a wizard with them, although they do know they have spell casting. That greatly limits my options. I guess I will reload and come around probably about there to get a line on the giant.
Works for me.
And 30.
30 will hit for 11 points. I will say, like, it's not like drastic damage, but Reach is pretty deadly with that crossbow. Pledrum.
6, 5, 8. Yeah.
Michael, if you're there.
Yeah, I am going to walk down here.
Okay, she will get an attack on you.
All right, I'll do an acrobatics.
That will not make it.
Fortunately, okay.
So she will get a single attack on you.
Yep. Luckily, I don't think
28.
she can kill me in a single attack unless she crits.
If she crits, she definitely could. But no, that is just 42 points of damage. As like she juts the Tetsubo forward and it like almost blasts you back, but you manage to hold your ground.
And I will throw my loot. Actually, what's the distance?
I think this is going to be at a -2 because I think you can only throw like 10 feet with a bigger item like that.
Yeah, whatever. I can apply all my buffs and it won't turn out to matter.
Just toss it like an axe.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's technically his axe.
Blood for the Empire.
Shred it.
I don't think you can do a power attack on a thrown weapon, so.
I think you can.
It's
Deadly Aim and Power Attack are
Deadly Aim. They're
free
essentially
anyway.
Yeah,
They're essentially the same, so you can just click on the power attack button.
Yeah, you won't get.
Because our house rules, we just let those be free as long as you have at least +1 BAB.
All right. So, what
you
was
don't have
that?
precise shot, I believe, so it's still going to be a -4 to hit.
Mhm.
And it's not two-handed on the power attack. You're one-handed with Deadly Aim.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, that reminds me something about natural attacks. I should edit that on my sheet next time.
So it'll be this -4. So maybe I shouldn't do the Deadly Aim. I'll just click that off. So it'll be this -4.
That'll hit.
And it will, we'll do the same damage. It'll
just do the same damage.
Yeah, because we
I allow strength on thrown weapons, so
that's our house rule.
That's a house rule thing. So
I
you're
think
still
that's
up.
official rule, but yeah.
Oh, I'm saying I also allow strength to hit rather than strength.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to use dex to
that's
hit.
right.
You can use strength to hit as well as damage. Because I don't want to penalize people using strength builds too much, and it's not going to affect it too much early.
Mm-hmm.
Did 23 kill the giant?
It does not, but he is very, very hurt.
It would have been so cool to just throw my loot and be like, have we not proven ourselves?
Power cord.
It is his turn, and he cannot use his great cloak because it's a two-handed thing. So he's going to just start punching Juan.
As soon as he swings, that will miss, and it'll provoke from Emmanuel.
Go for it. Steal that kill.
With the Bane arrow for extra 2d8. Oh, I forgot to add the Bane damage last time. That's all right.
That will finish him off. And I will ask, are you guys actually going to try to talk with this giant now that these ones are out of the way, if she's willing?
Seems like that was the plan.
Yep.
Okay, I just wanted to ask before I just got you guys out of turn order.
Yeah.
So after they both fall, and they are very clearly both dead, you see her slam her Tetsubo into the ground in front of her, creating like an impact crater. Mm-hmm. And she kind of puts both hands over it, like cross her arms. She's like, so you wanted to talk, huh?
Pledrum snaps his fingers and his loot appears back into his hands.
Gives it a single strum.
That was the plan.
Fix kind of has a arm over her chest, like, yep, definitely up for talking.
I punch the dead giant a couple more times as my blood frenzy style goes away.
Why don't you come inside and Pledrum will start leading her back towards the cave?
I can't fit in there.
Oh, can she not?
No, she is huge. She's 20 feet tall.
I guess I was overestimating the size of the cave. I thought it was
good.
It was just big enough for you guys to get in.
okay.
I will say, if she had gotten that times 4 crit, that would have been 148 damage.
I'll probably just pull up a stone or something and sit down, strumming a bit of a tune on the lute, and I'll go.
I would say we'll probably end it there and continue this next time. It seems like a perfect stopping point.
Could fix before the game ends. Just bust out a quick channel heal.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. At 82. So is that for everyone or just you?
That's for all of us, all three of us.
Okay.
Well, anybody who wants, I made sure I was out of range of these guys, though.
I'm pretty sure we make sure they're very dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very dead.
Yeah, I even described wailing on them a couple more times.
Yeah, I just didn't want to continue on with the narrative stuff now because it seems like that seems like a perfect scene to kind of end the session on.
Yeah.
Yep.